I'm sure I have all kinds of stuff running in the background on that phone. So I'm sure that's probably a culprit too.
And we're live to the whole world.
Hi, everybody.
The whole world of Flash in the Pan.
Hi, Flash in the Pan. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, it's
My dogs are driving me insane. Look at these
That reminds me, I have to pull up the YouTube channel of the stream so I can see the chat.
Oh yeah, I've just pulled the chat out now.
I didn't even think about that. You guys are so smart.
I know. So today, Christine had a couple of ideas, didn't you? You want to know about home studio tech? Was it?
No, that's not what I said.
Was it? What was it?
Let me pull it up.
I can't remember. And also this stupid Article 13 as well. This definitely needs discussion.
know nothing about it, so I cannot.
Really?
I mean, other than the fact that I know that it's going to cause some problems for people, I don't know any. I can't give any commentary on it other than from what I understand of it, it sounds terrible, but I don't understand what it all means for everybody.
Basically,
probably. Yeah, go ahead, Neil. Sorry.
No, go on, mate. You can. You carry on while I finish my bagel off, because you know.
Well, I was gonna say it's pretty much gonna cause trouble for everyone, like even people who won't expect it.
It's basically the European Parliament, or whoever they are, have decided that Article 30. Do you want to stop copyright, and do you want to stop? You know, it's all to do with artists, bands, musicians, things like that, because they're losing, they reckon, 5% of the income a year, the whole 5%, because of people ripping stuff off YouTube. So they're putting a ban on any copyright material. If you don't own it, you can't put it out. So what the European courts have turned around and basically doing is instead of suing the creator, they're going to sue the platform. So they basically turn around to YouTube. If it goes ahead, they said to YouTube, right, we're not going to sue the creator. It's your platform. We're going to sue you. So how can YouTube in Europe view and watch every single person's video for copyright content? Even a 2-second clip of a film is classed as copyright. There's no, basically the whole fair use, that's out the window. There's no 3 strikes and out. It's like, you get caught with copyright content, you're gone. That's it, your channel is gone. From what I can make out. There's no fair use, there's no leniency. But what YouTube have turned out and said, basically, is that they're not going to put people's content out into Europe or out of Europe to anybody else, because it's not worth getting sued over.
Right.
That's kind of the basics.
So how can they police that? I mean, like, how can they, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, because they can't police it, they're just putting basically the content that you make, from what I can gather, the content that you can make has to go through a manual process of being screened and said, yeah, it's okay.
Well, the AI is smart enough to know, like, what your thumbnails are about. The AI is smart enough to know when you lie on your descriptions. The AI is smart enough to know if you have something racy in your videos.
It is.
So why would they just not rely on the AI?
Because you've only got to change the hue color of a picture and say, add a pretend hat onto someone, and the AI can't pick it up.
And plus the audio, there's ways around that also.
Yeah, there's whatever it is. There's Hybrid Steel put a thing in the Discord today or yesterday. It's a 20-minute video, but the lad who does do the video, he explains it all, and it's like, wow, this is like, if this goes through, it's not really going to affect the UK, but it could affect you guys in America because your content is not going to get pushed to Europe, from what I can gather.
I mean, honestly, mine is so localized to the United States because real estate law and practices is so incredibly different to other countries that I can't imagine that it really would make a big effect on what I do.
It doesn't even really affect me, to be honest, because obviously because cryptocurrency, I'm not using anything that I can't use.
I think the only thing that would affect me is the chance of maybe the events I record have music playing in the background every once in a while. Heck, you even saw with the Bloomsburg 2017 video, I had trouble a couple months ago. No, it was last month, actually.
You got flagged, didn't you?
4 times. And that video's been up for over a year. And it just now got flagged.
And I have another friend, and I love them to death, but it always drives me insane that they use copyrighted music. Now, granted, it's 8 seconds. I've counted it. It's 8 seconds. But how is that fair? How is that fair? I just don't think that's fair.
It's I know with what they're proposing in Europe is the fair use policy, because the way the guy described it, he had like a 2-second clip of a film, and he said even this is enough to have your channel taken down, not like stopped or a community strike. They're literally just going to go ahead and remove channels.
And they've been doing that too. I saw on a video game that this guy only got 1 strike and his guy's channel removed, and it wasn't because of copyright. It was community guidelines, I think. Like he was playing Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And he punched a feminist in the mouth and then knocked her out and dragged her to an alligator to be eaten, and he got banned for it.
But that's in a game, isn't it? That's not actually real life.
Right.
It's just.
But even that would be copyright.
I don't. Some games it's classed as fit. They allow it.
Encourage it. They actually have it in their policies that like they want people to share that stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Beanie might be able to explain it more. I mean, there is a. The good thing about
flash in your pan showed up.
Everyone's coming. The good thing about UK is that because we've opted out of Europe, it kind of doesn't affect it. It kind of doesn't affect the UK. From what I can gather, Beanie is. What's Beanie doing? Has he got a new haircut or is he outside? What's going on?
I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Speak to us, Daryl.
I didn't know he went outside.
Does he have audio?
I don't know. After Beanie, can you hear us?
I don't think his microphone is working.
Earth to Beanie. Earth to Beanie.
I know he's just been out to buy a new camera because he's messing around with it. He was, I don't know what it was. He put one of this in the Discord before he was going out to buy a new camera, which I think.
There we go. Can you guys hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, he has it now.
Hello.
We didn't know that you went outside.
I was shocked that you actually see the sunshine. I'm proud of you, Beanie.
Yeah.
Are we going to
get? How's my audio? Is it crap?
It's pretty crap.
Yeah. Are we getting a tour of Melbourne?
Yeah. A little bit. Actually, I should really do it like this, shouldn't I? Hang on, does that work? So going to automatically adjust things. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, for a split second there, you looked the double of Andrew Can.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. You just looked like Andrew Can.
Huh?
I didn't see
Oh,
it.
Must have missed it.
And Ed's in the house as well. With everyone's got a cup of tea tonight.
I got
Yeah.
one brewing right now.
So
And
what's
these,
Beanie up to? Well, what are you? What are you doing outside? Are you lost?
I am. Hang on. Let's see if I can show these stores I've got here. Looking at, see if you can actually see up there. Little camera stores, and I'm looking at getting myself a little steady cam thing.
Like
for
a
you,
gimbal?
Casing out the joint.
So is it Ed just said? Is it like are you looking for a gimbal?
No. I'm looking at those Sony action cam things. I'm just deciding
Yeah, that's
whether
what
I want to get a deciding whether I want to go with that or a GoPro.
Right. I see.
Like the one you shared on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, because the
Beanie, you're on
GoPro
Facebook?
Hero 5. What's that?
You're on Facebook? I didn't know that.
Wait, what about who said? I thought he said the one I shared on Twitter.
Oh, it might have been Twitter I saw it on. Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, it was Twitter. Man, my hair is a mess.
Who cares?
Yeah, it is.
Kinda hard.
It's all right.
Mine's worse. Mine's
It's
grown.
hard to keep control of my hair when it's all windy like this.
Windy in Australia. That's not a concept I hear much.
Yeah.
Saying that, you know what? When was it? Was it last week? You had thunder, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was thunderstorm.
Yeah.
When was
Was it only a week
was
ago,
that?
Was it?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Was it?
Was it that
Oh,
long
2
ago?
weeks ago. Must have been.
It's weird that me and Beanie have actually
I'm
got
using
exactly
my
the same
mobile.
haircut.
Yeah, you guys got together. You guys are super tight like that.
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying.
was actually going to go and get myself a haircut today, but I'm like, I might do that tomorrow.
Yeah, leave us till
The
tomorrow.
whole going outside thing again.
So you're out shopping for a camera. Christine's
Yep.
just got a brand new Mac.
I did not out of want, out of necessity.
I've just got.
Pro, nice.
I've just picked up a Stream Deck. Charlie's gone and bought himself. And what have you got, Charlie? Here we go. I'll let Charlie explain.
Rilo 360. Love it.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Is that a webcam or a action cam?
More like an
Oh,
action
that's a 3D
camera, but
cam, isn't it?
360
Yeah.
degrees.
That's cool.
So does that when you're
Oh,
filming?
that'll be. Ooh. I was just thinking that's going to go really good for your car stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm already drooling over it. Almost literally.
Yeah, it
Oh
does.
man! Although I know that the file uploads, the file sizes for those things are insane.
Yeah, but that's for the entire 360 degree file. I don't plan on using the 360 files. I plan on doing
The
a
half
file
stuff.
for focusing straight ahead, a file for focusing at me when I'm in my seat, and maybe a file also behind the truck of capturing who's behind me or the dust cloud it's kicking up.
Nice.
Ugh.
Have we
And I totally. Oops, sorry. I keep talking over you.
has the stream gone down?
No, I don't think so.
I
No, I
don't know.
think we're still. Let me check.
No, yeah, we are live. It must just be my end.
Okay.
It's being stupid.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you?
Well, I can't see the chat, so.
Would you be able to put the camera on top of the car and basically film like 360 as you're driving, and someone be able to watch and look all around?
I wouldn't put it on top of the car because if I roll over, that camera's gone. But
Don't
could,
roll it over, Charlie. Don't roll the car.
I have rolled it over before.
Stop rolling cars over. But
Easier said than done.
You know what
Yeah.
you need to do? You need to put a little sort of a protective roll cage over the top of it, so you can still have it outside. But if you
Well, I was
roll
gonna
over,
say,
because you're only rolling over mud. It's not like you're gonna actually crush it. So you can just it'll just go into the mud, and then when it comes back out, it'll be fine.
well, it is gonna go to the top of the roll cage, but it's gonna be downward.
Yeah.
Like pretty much like a security camera.
But you've also got to think as well, when the car's on its roof, you've got the whole weight of the car on it as well, haven't you?
Yeah, that's why if I roll on top of it, it's gone.
I bet you there's a way of doing it.
To be honest, though, I think you're pretty fine. It's like you drive in mud.
Not all the time. It's more dirt than mud.
Okay.
So you've got that. What have you? Did you buy it on Black Friday, Ed?
Yeah. It was actually Thursday. It was on Thanksgiving I got it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, isn't it Cyber Monday today?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't buy
Cyber
anything.
Monday.
You didn't buy anything. She's just been and bought a £2,500 MacBook Pro.
Actually, that reminds me. I should go buy a shirt, a hat.
You still need to buy your streaming computer, Ed, don't you?
Yeah. I bought this one.
Ooh.
It's a good hard graphics card in it, a Radeon or something like that. 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of hard drive. But I need to get the right adapters to fit my old monitors and keyboards and stuff. So I'm going to drop it off at my tech guys Wednesday.
Is it new? Is it newer than your obviously your stuff?
Yeah, my stuff's pretty old, except my laptop's only a couple years old. But my editing computer's on its last leg. That I got in like 03.
To be honest with you, before I got this machine that I'm running on now, my old PC, oh my god, that must have been, I'd say 10 years old.
My Mac over here, that's 10 years old.
Really? That's where I've seen the Mac in your house.
Yeah.
I knew I'd seen a MacBook somewhere. An iMac. I knew I'd seen an iMac somewhere.
This is my old laptop, the one that died.
Is there no way?
Look, if you open it, it's like, you see, that's what it does. That's it. That's all I get.
Did you speak to Apple about it? What did he say?
It cost me $600 to fix it.
Is that what they want?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because they're gonna have to replace the whole motherboard. There's not much point.
So the
graphics card is attached to the motherboard.
You're shitting me.
Yeah.
No. So there was no point.
See, now you could technically still use that in clamshell mode if you got the actual adapter for it. Say in one of the kids' rooms bought a monitor and put the VGA into the lightning port, turn the Mac on, then closed it. You're actually basically just using the Mac as a normal PC, so you can still use it.
I hope so. I'd like that.
Yeah, you could still use it. It's like having a spare computer, if you know, because once it's connected up to another hard drive, once it's connected up to another monitor with the lightning port, it's basically the same as a home PC.
Okay.
It's definitely worth a go.
Also, I think I think your MacBook might actually be affected by a recall anyway. So what I can do is I can check, because my MacBook was going through a very similar issue. So what I can do is check, see if Apple's actually, if your Mac is covered by the recall, and then you can get the repairs done for free.
I like free.
Yeah,
that's my favorite price.
Free's good.
Free's always good.
And I'm just I'm just going to interrupt one more time. Is my the audio in the background really distracting? Because if it is, I'll bugger off for a while.
No, to be
No,
honest
it's
with you,
fine.
it's good. Considering you're outside, the audio is actually perfect.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not cutting off every 30 seconds like it does at home. But I would say it's all right.
Look, I decorated my house. You see my tree?
Do you not think it's too early to decorate?
No.
We don't in the UK. We don't put decorations up till when do we put decorations up? "12 days before Christmas." Yeah, so in the UK, it's like
Is Neil's microphone out? Oh, there you go.
no.
Yeah, but here's the thing that like around here, literally Thanksgiving Day, people are that's like part of the Thanksgiving tradition is that people come over the house
yeah,
and they decorate with you.
yeah,
Yeah, they start decorating for Christmas.
it's like the sign. I know in America, Thanksgiving is like the introduction of Christmas, isn't it?
Well, now, yeah, that's why the whole Black Friday thing started because everybody was home and they're reading the newspaper because they don't want to talk to their family. So they're like, oh, look, there's a sale tomorrow. But look, I decorated. See, you guys are going to see that in tomorrow's video if I get it edited on time. I did not realize that restoring your old Mac onto a new Mac, how long that would take. And it took 5.5 hours. It said 2 hours and 37 minutes. That's a big giant lie. And then it would say like 20 minutes, and then it would say another hour, and then it would say 8 minutes, and then 8 minutes took 27 minutes. God, it was just ridiculous. I was so happy.
Wait, how did they do that?
Through
Did
the
they do it
cloud.
on online or?
I have a tower.
That's your problem right there.
Yeah, it's through the clouds because I know.
No, I have a tower. I have the airport tower.
Yeah, but it's still going over your Wi-Fi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
But
syncing.
yeah, but it's not in the cloud.
Yeah, but it's still syncing over Wi-Fi. That's why if you'd have plugged the tower, it's like I have mine on a hard drive, which is I can't even remember what it's called. What's the Apple backup called for a Mac? Time Machine.
Time Machine. Yeah, that's what I have.
When I got my new Mac, I basically just plugged the Time Machine in, and I'm talking 15, 20 minutes, and it had transferred the full lot, and I'm talking probably 3/4 of a terabyte. It was done.
I wish I knew that. I would have saved myself a lot of headache.
But obviously doing it over Wi-Fi, it's going to take a lot longer, isn't it?
No, well, yeah.
I mean, what time was I talking to you on the phone? I was talking to you like 3 hours ago, wasn't I?
I started it at 12:30 and it finished 25 minutes ago.
Jeez.
Wow. So
I know,
that's like 7 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it was annoying.
Jesus. There's dogs everywhere.
I know.
Is that Charlie? Is that the dog that was sick?
No, he's on the bed.
He's always on the bed, isn't he?
No, he's usually under the bed. This is Parker.
What? That's the
For a second, I
perfect
thought
name.
Charlie had a facelift.
Here, I'll show you the dog that nearly got put down a couple weeks ago. He's over here.
I thought you just said we're going to show you the dog that I had put down.
That's what I heard too. Like, why would you keep a dead dog?
You've got one on your mantelpiece?
I do. Well, no, I do. I did have one on my mantelpiece. We moved her.
You're joking.
No, he's in Aubrey's room.
Oh, right. I was going to say, you haven't put him away for Christmas, have you?
No, we didn't put him away for Christmas. He's in Aubrey's disgusting room, but he's over here.
Is it in a urn or stuffed?
It's in a box. That's static.
That's cool. We have one of our dash hounds in the urn up on our shelf.
Yeah, my mom and dad have the little egg urn as well.
Yeah, I've got a friend of mine. She's still got a dad on the fireplace, which is kind of creepy.
That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Fudge.
It hasn't taxidermied him.
Yeah, it is kind of creepy. Oh,
It's
that's
fun.
right. That's the dog that goes under the blanket. That's the dog that thinks it's human, isn't it, Charlie?
Yep. He's
I-
going on
I
the
have a-
blankets right now.
Here's
Here, buddy.
something.
Never mind.
I'm pretty weird. See this, Neil, Christy?
What's that?
What is it?
It's a dead friend of mine's ashes.
He must have been
take
small.
She's a prospecting friend of mine that died,
Yeah.
so I take her prospecting with me still.
So did
So I-
obviously
Put her
the community
take
did,
her pin.
did everyone get like a part of her ashes?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of nice though, isn't it? It just means that you can.
yeah. The prospecting community throughout the world at a forum site I belong to. So now she's around the world prospecting with us.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of nice.
Hmm.
It is.
I need to
Just say I think it's creepy, but whatever.
I'm kind of creepy, so
Each his own.
why be normal, right?
Oh, I'm totally into cremation, but I just want my ashes to just go
Well,
away.
But
Well,
when
I
I
want
pass it, I'm
mine
going to get myself. Oh,
Go ahead, Bean.
I totally. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell because the bus was so loud. I couldn't tell if actually people were talking just then or not.
Yeah, they were.
So I was just gonna say that I was just I was, man, every time I talk to Neil's about to start talking, I'm interrupting Neil.
Now I'm just curious on what the shop is behind you because I've noticed that they're open till 10 o'clock at night. And ironically, ironically, it's called 365, isn't it? Unlike 368.
That's what joke is that? I don't get that joke.
Well, Casey Neistat's company's called 368, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's 365. What is it?
But yeah. 365. But then again, I don't care that much about Casey Neistat.
Is that the address?
I was gonna say that I was gonna get myself cremated and then have my ashes turned into a pencil so then people could draw with my body.
Can you actually do that?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure that where there's a will, there's a way.
Everything has a dollar amount, even
Yeah.
your ashes.
I want to get cremated also and be put in like a tree plant.
Yeah, our Daisy was showing me them the other day. She
The pods.
yeah, the pods, and you plant them in next thing.
It's basically your giant, biodegradable bag, and they put you in there in the fetal position, and they stick you in the ground, and then they plant a tree on top of you, and then the tree absorbs you, and you grow.
Become part of the tree.
Yep.
When I die, they can just throw my body over my neighbor's fence. I don't like them anyways.
Is that in pieces?
If you turned into a tree, you'd have one big wood, and therefore that would bring a whole new meaning to rigor mortis.
Well, here's the thing. Like, what if your tree died? Then you'd really feel terrible. You couldn't even you couldn't live, and you couldn't let your tree live either.
I tell you what, though, if you did dry and come back as a tree, you'd never need Viagra, would you? Because you'd always be fucking wood.
Yeah, you definitely always have a way.
Yeah, I didn't know they existed. Our Daisy showed me them the other week, and it was like, at first I didn't believe it. I was like, you can't come back. No one can do that. And then she showed me the website, and I was like, right, okay, but it's not cheap, is it?
No. I always am puzzled by the people that decide that they're going to have their body frozen, so when they come up with a cure for their disease, whatever the disease is, that they can come back.
Yeah.
Didn't Walt Disney do that?
Yeah, he's
He sure did.
still under cryogenics, isn't he? Because there's
Yep,
one.
still on ice.
Who is it?
But yeah. The thing is that even with the technology they had then, that he was under cryogenics, the body still deteriorated.
Don't they
Like,
cut off? I thought they cut off their heads too and just freeze that.
I don't know.
And
I don't
you've
know
been
about
watching.
that, but
You've been watching too much Futurama, Ed.
yeah. But the body deteriorates, just like a frozen. Like if you had a steak in the freezer for too long, after a while it starts getting whiter and whiter and whiter. Well, the human body does too. No matter how much temperature they freeze it.
Freezer burn.
Yeah, skin and everything. So that isn't foolproof.
See, I thought they put the I thought you went into like a deep freeze, but they continued to pump chemicals to you, because I have seen. Oh, what was it? There was a documentary a while ago, and they basically removed all the blood out of a human being. They put
and organs.
I'm not quite sure, but the guy or whoever it was, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to try and find it. The guy was alive, and they basically, I think they wanted to prove that this procedure that he'd found would work. So they put him in a bath. They lowered his core temperature, then put him into a coma-induced sleep, and then over the course of 12 hours, they replaced his blood with like it was a liquid. It was like a silicone, or it was some sort of liquid and had nutrients in it, and they drained his whole blood system out to the point where he only had this chemical in his actual body. And then they reversed the process, and then obviously raised his core temperature, took him out of the induced coma, and brought him back to life.
Yeah, no thanks.
That's creepy.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I mean, if you're bored on a Wednesday afternoon, I suppose you could always go and give it a whirl. But it was, I think it was just I think they tried it and tested it, and I'm pretty sure it was in Norway. Because, the Norwegians really don't care, do they? The Norwegian law is just like, oh, yeah, go on, try it, test it. It's
How do we get on these conversations? This has nothing to do with YouTube. What happened?
See, now...
Well, what really is there to talk about YouTube, though?
I had two things I wanted to discuss.
Go on, fire away, man.
Article 13.
I wanted to ask how people are liking that stupid beta YouTube thing. Like YouTube.
I don't
beta.
like it.
I'm actually
I
liking
like the plastic.
I hate it.
I'm
getting into it now.
What is it that you like about it? Because I find that I find it not user friendly whatsoever.
What part of it do you not find user friendly?
I mean,
there's probably a lot, but what's the main bit?
Why is it that they have the menu like tucked behind the folds? You have to like scroll through shit in order to get to whatever it is you're on there. And then it has this one tab that says missing features. Then it goes back to the other studio in the first place. It drives me insane.
I think that's just because it's obviously still beta. It's still being developed, and it's still being they're still building it as it goes along. But
that's been that's been a year. You'd think by now they would have it right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys.
YouTube can't get anything right, really.
No, I don't know about you guys, but lately, when I go into my creator studio, it never used to. It automatically takes me into the beta now.
Yeah, it does me too. And then the other thing I don't like is I don't like the like when you put in your thumbnails now, like I'm so used to putting your thumbnails in a certain way. And so when you go back to like a live stream and go to put in your thumbnails and all the other missing features, it seems to be missing. And it seems to like not work the same way. Like I'm afraid I'm going to screw it up in some way. It's just not the same. I don't like it.
I haven't actually used it for editing videos. All I've ever actually, it's good for looking at your analytics, and like once your video's been up online for like a week, it's good for that. But when it comes to actually uploading videos, I haven't really used it yet.
Hey, Joe's in here, and Dan Norton.
Yeah, and those are the chat there. We've got Fantastic Joe and Eric, Modern Day Family Man. Is Dan Norton in the chat as well?
The Modern Day Family Man. That's Dan Norton, right?
No, that's Eric.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's Eric. That's Eric. Yeah, it's
And Fantastic Joe is there too.
I don't know. It's the beta studio. It's kind of I'll be honest, and I'll be totally honest. The whole analytics side of YouTube, the going through your figures and going through your CTR and all that, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
And I don't know what any of it means. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's just pretty fancy numbers, and I just go, oh yeah, that's yeah. What is it? I don't know, because I've not done it that long enough to actually go into it and study it, and like you see Nick doing, and all the others, Roberto Blake, and or they all go through it and look at the figures, and you can tell I understand you can tell where people are dropping off your video. I get that bit, but some of the stuff I just don't understand it. It's like I'm too new to understand any of this, so I don't bother looking at it.
I'm too old.
Yeah, Ed's too old. I'm too new. It's either that I'm just too new, or I just really can't be asked. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but I do prefer the old Creator Studio. It was familiar, whereas the new one, it's kind of like they've tried too hard to become too modern.
Do you mean the original classic YouTube?
I like the classic Creator Studio better, because you could see a menu of all the items, and then when you clicked on that, then it gave you another drop down of all those items. And now they have it, I don't know, it just seems like it's so much harder to navigate and see the numbers and see the things that you want to see.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
To be honest with you, I instantly just switch back to the classic.
Yeah, but you can only do that for so long.
Yeah,
and they'll force the new stuff down your throat.
I don't know how long it is. I've got a feeling that it's 18 months. I don't know where I've got 18 months from, or it might be 12 months. It could be 8 months, but I've got a feeling.
Could be New Year.
No, I don't. It's not anytime soon. I know that much because I remember Nick talking about it, and I remember a couple of others, other people talking about it, and it's quite a way away.
I actually have to go back into the stream then to look at some of the free mobile editing apps he suggests.
Patty Broussard is in
doing
the
my
chat.
little adventure on Mom.
It looks like you. To be
I
honest,
totally derail the chat again.
Beanie, that looks like Liverpool.
It's really old school. Like this, I only just noticed this building is really nice. But I'm like, I was making a joke that I was going down a dingy laneway, but then I'm like, the buildings actually look quite nice.
That reminds me a little bit of New Orleans too.
It definitely looks like Liverpool. Like it looks so much like Liverpool. But
except for it's sunny.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's sunny and there's. And to be honest with you, if you're walking down a dark alley in, even a sunlit alley in Liverpool, and you'd probably be mugged.
Mm.
You'd definitely be mugged by now, but it's strange seeing sun. It is strange being sun. So what's Christine cooking?
Over your end, it's usually
leftover Chinese.
Oh, leftovers. I've just noticed. Joe said in the chat, "What's Christine cooking?"
Leftover Chinese. You know what? The other thing I wanted to ask about is that if anybody's making holiday content, and if you think it's like a good idea to do that, or are you killing yourself because no one's going to watch that crap after holiday?
Well, the thing is,
you make it for the moment.
I just think
it's almost like following a trending topic kind of thing. Is that what you do? Is that how you look at it?
Yeah. Okay. But you want to get your content done like a week or so before the actual event. So, like,
really,
you really want to start your Christmas stuff now. Yeah.
So you wouldn't release it like the day after a holiday. You would do something like that.
Oh,
shut up. The thing there though is that
she's brutal.
Okay. In my defense.
You've got no defense. You're just fucking lazy.
No. No. In my defense, Stan Lee is going to. I'm pretty safe to say Stan Lee is probably going to remain dead. So in a tribute to Stan Lee, he's not going to get any more alive.
No, Beanie.
And
Beanie.
a 6 foot turkey can be a 6 foot turkey.
Yeah, we're talking about the 6 foot Thanksgiving turkey that was released on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, with that one, I've actually always wanted to draw a dinosaur, a velociraptor dressed up as a bird, just for the shits and giggles, and just so happened that it was Thanksgiving. I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah, but you never got it out on Thanksgiving. You done it the day after. That's what we're saying. Are you gonna do your Christmas video on New Year?
The funny thing though is that with the Thanksgiving Day, like it was only 1 day late for you guys because I'm a day ahead of you. It was actually 2 days late for me.
See,
well.
Unbelievable. So Beanie's New Year video is going to come out on the 3rd of March. What is everyone doing over Christmas and New Year? Are you all going to carry on doing the same uploads over Christmas and New Year, or are you going to kind of take a week off?
I have live shows Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Really? And they fall on Tuesday, and the show must go on.
Yeah, that's kind of correct. It was because I know I was listening to Viper the other day, and I think he was talking about streaming New Year's Eve, or he was talking about a stream that it was going on New Year's Eve. Which would be kind of weird because
it's pretty boring around here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not working this New Year's Eve because it doesn't pay the amount of money that it used to. I mean, DJs used to get paid stupid money on New Year's Eve. Now it's just we get paid exactly the same as you would. I mean, it's on a Monday this year, so you get paid as a normal. I'd rather just be off, to be honest with you. I'd rather. It's not even worth going out because going out it's a pain in the ass. It's, taxis in Liverpool, the taxi prices treble. Places that you're going into, they charge you for places that are normally free to go into. They start charging you. Then they put the drinks up, and it's like, what's the point? You all moan that New Year's not as busy as it used to be, but it's because of your actions and being greedy that it's not that busy. So it's kind of like I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean,
and you also
hey,
are you gonna make any content specific?
I was just saying, and you also have to deal with the drunk dickheads.
It's not even that. I mean, putting up with the drunk people doesn't really bother me, but it's just. I mean, I think both me and Emma we're gonna be off this New Year anyway, so we may as well just enjoy it. But the funny thing is, because we will have. Beanie will have New Year first, won't you?
Yeah.
So it's going to be Beanie first, then me.
I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah. What time is there any time difference between any of you guys in the States? I mean,
well, yeah, because the East Coast, like New York, they will have New Year's Eve before we will in the Central Time. And then anybody in California has it like 2 hours after that.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize there was 3. Is there 3 time zones in America, or is there 4 time zones?
I believe there's 4.
Yeah, because isn't there Alaska time zone as well?
Well, there's Mountain Standard Time too.
That's right. Yeah. What's Mountain Standard Time?
For people that live in the mountains.
That'd be like Brian G. Johnson, wouldn't it? Brian James got Mountain Time, I think.
Yeah, what was Ed's gonna tell us all about Mountain Standard Time?
Well, I'm in Eastern Time. Then I believe you're in Central Time, you and Eddie, right, Kristen?
Yep.
And then Mountain Time is covers the Rocky States and New Mexico and Arizona. And then Nevada, California, Oregon, and Washington is Pacific. AK and Hawaii are on they're 4 hours behind me.
Right.
So we have 4 time zones.
Is there that much of a difference? I mean, you just 4 hours from. So what is it from, say? Because I know Washington is completely the other end of the states to New York, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Well, but Washington, the actual like Washington D.C. is not the same as Washington State.
Right. So
Right.
Washington D.C. is right next to right in that New York area. It's on Eastern time.
yeah, but
Baltimore.
there's a Washington over to the right, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, there's a
Oh,
right.
sorry. Right over to the left of America.
Right. Correct. There's a Washington State. Correct.
So what's the time difference between obviously Washington on the left and New York, which is right out on the right, isn't it? Or yeah.
Is it 3 or 4
right now
hours?
it's 3. It's 6:44 in Washington now.
Yeah. So it's 2 hours for me and 3 hours for him.
And then
So
you
if I called my mom right now, I'd be catching her right at dinner time.
Charlie just put in the chat there. We've gone from talking about cremations to time zones.
I know, we always do
Well,
that.
from cremation to being put on ice, 2 time zones.
Well, my other question was part of that building off of what people are doing for Christmas is what is acceptable as far as content that you create. Like, do you guys have a schedule what you're going to do for Christmas? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody, because I'm like doing this one about decorating your house when it's for sale and when you're going to sell it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute. The only people that really freaking decorate their house when they're about to sell it are the people, are the Christian people. And I don't want to offend anybody.
I don't think you'd offend anyone because it's, I mean, you might get a lot of people that are selling their houses now, and they've thought, well, let's not decorate the house because it's for sale, and there's people coming around next week. They mightn't think that decorating the house for Christmas could be an advantage.
Right.
Because it's kind of one of them. If it was me, if I was looking for a house right now, and you went round, if I went to your home now and seen all it decorated for Christmas, I would imagine me and my family being in the house at Christmas. So it would automatically bring a good memory.
Right.
It would bring you a nice memory to go, oh well, this is what it would look like at Christmas, and we'd all be around the fire, and the kids' presents would be there, and it would be a bonus for buying a house. I from my point of view, anyway. But
Well, you'll see in my video if I ever get it out on time. But there's a tasteful way of doing it, and there's the tacky Griswold Christmas way of doing it, and then there's the right way.
Christina,
Sir.
if you do offend anyone, all you have to do is say, if I really wanted to offend you, take a look at Neil Starr. That'll offend you perfectly.
Yeah, that would go over.
we've got a perfect star to go on top of the Christmas tree for.
Don't worry about offending
for
anyone.
offending. I don't think you would offend anyone. I mean, apart from maybe, obviously different cultures. Then,
Well, the only real people that you'd be offending is the Christians by saying that we shouldn't be having Christmas because other religions. That's the only real reason. That's the only real way you'd be offending anyone. And
They're getting really sensitive though. If you just say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas, they'll get pissy about that sometimes.
Well, you can have it both ways. You can say, well, one person gets pissed off because you didn't say Merry Christmas. So then you say Happy Holidays. And the other person says, well, it is Christmas time. Why did you say Merry Christmas? I mean,
It's a no-win situation.
everybody's so mad now. Everybody's so pissed off. Like everybody just, I don't know how they even cope with the day anymore.
The
they're-
That's why I stay out of
the
politics.
thing with me, I'm not religious, so I don't even really do the whole obviously I do Christmas, but the whole Christ part of Christmas is because I'm not religious, does saying Christmas, does that kind of make me a bit of a phony, really?
Not
No.
really. No, not really. I mean,
No.
going back onto what Christina said, the world has actually gone a bit mad because everyone is screaming out for political correctness. Everyone is screaming out for freedom of speech. So you can have freedom of speech as long as you're politically correct and don't offend anyone.
That ain't freedom of speech.
But where does that
freedom of speech protects me from a not
but
that
there's
I
freedom
would,
of speech. But the thing is there's freedom of speech, but as soon as you put it on one of these platforms, you say, I have the right to say this. You have the right, but they have the right to take it down.
Yeah.
So we don't really
And
have
they
freedom
right
on any of them.
No, you don't. Freedom of speech.
One of my favorite quotes in terms of in terms of freedom of speech, my favorite quote is, "Freedom of speech doesn't come with a dental plan."
Right.
I say go ahead, say what you want to say, but you're going to suffer the consequences when you say it.
It depends what you're saying, but it's
you have a responsibility to freedom of speech too. You know, you don't.
I think
you don't have to be totally politically correct though. If you want to do a Christmas or holidays video, go for it and do it the way you want. And no matter what, you might offend somebody. It's that culture right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we also live in a culture now where everybody seems to be offended for something. It's like it's everything offends someone, and it gets to the point where I'm just like, why do you even fucking come out the house of a daytime? Why do you even bother waking up? If you get offended by everything you see and everything other people do, why do you even bother waking up if the world is that offensive? It pisses me off. It's just like, if it offends you, turn it off. Don't listen to it. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Neil, but I find that very offensive.
Mate, and I give absolute zero fucks. And I couldn't care if you were offended. I'm going to ban him from the chat now. I'm just going to turn him off. But it's just the world's just gone mad. Everyone wants to have an opinion, and everyone wants to argue over everything. But they're all the world's just gone crazy, and it has. You know, the world's gone mad.
It's a change of words. It's a change of like what something used to be offensive is, or something that wasn't offensive is now offensive. Like my grandmother grew up not knowing that, because it was acceptable at the time, is to call, like, African American is now acceptable, but when she was growing up, it was Negroid, and that was like, if you say that now, you get slapped in the face. She didn't mean anything by it. It was just that's what the name was, and it was Oriental. Someone was Oriental. Well, now that's offensive, and now they're Asians. You know, it's like there's
Kristen.
It's like it's like
just try to read Kristen's name when she was talking. It's like,
oh yeah, Christine, your name is like 40 DGYR.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
4EIR/1. Looks like you were cussing in chat or something.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it does look like the whole URL there. There we go. That's fixed.
Queen Chris.
Well, I'm just going to interrupt for another moment, but I'm just wondering, is there a delay between me and the rest of the chat? Because it seems like whenever I start talking, like there's like a big gap. So I want to do a little test, okay? When I'm going to like be quiet for a moment, and then I'm going to start talking. And the moment I start talking, I want you to say now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to start talking, and now it blah 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 blah. Seems like there's a really long delay between what you hear and what I say.
You're fine to me. I can hear you perfectly fine.
I think everyone decided to just stay quiet then, just to fuck your whole strategy and plan up, because nobody spoke. Go on, try it again, Beanie.
Okay, now I'm starting to talk.
Now you're gonna talk.
There's like about a 1-2 second delay.
Yeah, there's a slight delay, but there's nothing. I'm more worried about the fact that you're in an alleyway hiding in a doorway. It kind of does look a bit creepy. I don't know.
Reminds me of Nick and Dee when they did the live stream for Daryl
Yeah.
on the first day. Remember that? They
It
were
ca-
finding all kinds of dead animal parts or something.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a. He looks like he's just trying to pick a hooker up.
Hey, how do you know I'm not?
You.
So the funny fact, that's the camera that they were using to stream with. That's the actual camera I'm looking at getting right now. I'm just like deciding if I want to spend that much money on it.
How much
You
is it?
do.
It's like $420, and
Wow.
it's like discounted by like 250 or something. So
Which, because I know it's a Sony cam. What are you going to use it for?
Oh, who we got here?
It's the guy who used to. It's the guy who used to make space videos.
You know when he gave up?
Hey, Christian.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Well, he gave up the day that he wouldn't make a snow angel. Never forget. 11/16.
11/16.
11/16. But he's also the guy that used to make great video content about space as well. Do you remember them days?
I do remember that. I remember
them
that.
days.
But it all went downhill at 11/16.
Yeah,
I
well,
saw that moment that he towards you guys. I want to see him swear.
He's not happy.
he kind of reached, he went from 1,000 subscribers to 1,400 subscribers within a couple of weeks, and then he's just took the foot off, and he's just gone, do you know what?
He got too big for us.
yeah,
That's what it is. He got that YouTube ego.
He's got, I've heard a rumor he's going to come off the Discord. He's going to make his own Discord.
Christian.
Just, he seems such a nice guy as well.
I know. He's just too big for us now.
I believe the ladies say that as well.
Do they now?
That's what she said.
His launch pad will send you into astronomy.
Ooh, hello there.
You.
So, Christian, tell us about this. We were all pretty disappointed on this Mars live stream. I was expecting cameras, and I was expecting to see all sorts. It just didn't. I don't know what I was. Chris, because I know Chris was as well. I was kind of.
That's how it works. I mean, when you're going through EDL, entry, descent, and landing, you have there's only so much data that they can transmit back, particularly on this particular instance, because the main relay satellite, the Mars Global Surveyor, was not going to be overhead at that time. So they had these two little CubeSats, which were strictly optional. They weren't required. And but they were able to transmit a little bit more data. So believe it or not, we actually got a little bit more information back. But this is how a typical, it's nothing typical about it. But the last time I saw an EDL sequence like this was in 2012, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's all telemetry. Okay, I'm this high above the ground. I'm seeing the ground. I'm firing the retro rockets. I'm landing. Here's a picture of the ground. And if you notice the sky is on the up part of the picture and the ground is on the bottom part of the picture, that is good.
I think they need to have a camera on the outside of the ship.
Yeah.
They need to have a camera facing the ship. They need to have a camera before the thing lands so you could see it like landing on the dirt. They need to have cameras everywhere.
Patsy's just said in the chat there, I wanted to see it. Like I thought we were going to see cameras of it coming. But maybe we're just spoiled.
Spielberg quality. This is NASA. These people are nerdy people that should be able to pull this crap together. Like, I want to see it all. I want epic movie quality crap coming from Mars right now, and I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I even wanted a soundtrack.
Right. Like something from like Armageddon would have worked.
Oh, perfect, absolutely perfect.
Playing in the background,
Yeah.
that would have been epic.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's but I mean, to be honest with you, when you watched it and you're seeing the amount of people in that room, and you've got to take into consideration that they've sent a spaceship from the Earth all the way to Mars. They've landed it on. Shut the fuck up. F.
They brought it to the
Yeah.
That's offended me.
That's what they're trying.
Get over it.
Yeah, I don't know. There was so many people in there, but the one thing that I did like was the actual names on the desks of what the people were.
Yeah.
They were some fucking amazing made up names. Them. It was like EDL. I don't know, navigation comms, and it was like, who's made these names up? That's the telephone guy.
Yeah, I mean, like,
there was some.
yeah, one's doing comms, one's doing navigation, but here's the thing: there was absolutely nothing that the people behind those consoles were doing that was affecting the EDL sequence.
Were they just looking at the actual data coming in?
They're just watching the data come in. So the comms person is watching the signal strength and making sure that we're getting good comm. The navigation guy or gal is watching the navigation data.
Everybody wants good comm. That's for sure.
Right. In other words, there's nothing they can do because everything that you saw happening already happened before they announced it. In other words, it takes light like 15 to 20 minutes to, I'm not sure what the light travel time between Earth and Mars is right now, but it's something like, let's say 15 minutes. Well, that means that entire 6-minute sequence of entry, descent, and landing had already completed before they even got the first bit of telemetry saying, okay, it's now arriving at the top of the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like when they were saying, okay, it's touching the atmosphere. No, it was already on the ground. But there's absolutely nothing that can be done about it except to watch and wait, and it may as well just be real time.
I mean, this sounds horrible, and it really. There was at one point where she was going, oh, it's 1,000 meters, then it's 800 meters and 700 meters. There was a small part of me that wanted us to say lost communication. there was just this. I was sitting there, I was going, please,
complete destruction.
Please, crashed.
Mission failed.
The plug saying, just kidding. And
yeah. There was just that small part of me that just wanted to. I just wanted it to die. I just because how much did it cost? I mean, how much? I mean, I don't know if how much did that actual. The building of it, how much did the whole program cost? Because it's cost you guys
about $350.
How much? $350.
About $350.
Building?
I
Billion?
was say that too.
No. I think it was like under 200 million.
Bargain. Pure bargain right there.
That's very expensive, and largely because the basic spacecraft itself, I mean, like the instruments and so forth, the science instruments are unique to this mission, but they already landed the Mars Phoenix lander. So basically they're using hardware that they've already flown before. I mean, obviously not the exact article, but they're using hardware that they've already developed and worked on a previous mission. So they said, okay, let's get the weight to be the same weight as it was before, and we'll just replace it with the appropriate science instruments, and off we go. And
so what is this? I understand, and I could be wrong. Are they drilling into the surface of Mars with this one? Yeah.
So they want to drill about 5 meters down, and that's basically going to be like a heat probe. So that's going to help us understand, how much heat is still inside Mars. Is Mars, that will help us to infer whether or not Mars still has a very hot molten core. Does it have enough internal heat to drive geology, volcanoes, things like that? We don't see any evidence of that.
Right.
But this is the most direct measurement you can make.
This is what? Is this the fourth or the third or fourth probe that's gone there now? Because there was the Mars rover, wasn't it? There's the 2 Mars rovers and then this one.
Spirit and Curiosity, Spirit and Opportunity. Well, Opportunity just finally died.
Right.
I think, from the snowstorm. Curiosity is running around there. Mars Phoenix lander is there. We sent the Viking landers in the 1970s. There have been a number of landers and orbiters, but I'd say that the success rate, I can't remember what the actual number is, but it's like of like maybe like 50 or some odd that have been sent there. Only about like half of them were successful. You know, so it's really, really hard to get to Mars. So.
Is it not time to send humans to Mars?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we don't have the capability right now, but I mean, that's what NASA's supposedly working on. But they're
so now that we're talking about humans in going to Mars, did you watch that terrible movie with Matt Damon, where he went to Mars and he was left behind?
That is one of the best movies ever.
That was the worst movie.
I have, honest to God,
I love the movie.
I'll have to get it up on my watch time on how many. I think I must have watched that about 6 times. I absolutely love it.
There's one.
That was Val Cameron too.
What did you think of it, Christian?
Well, I really liked it. I mean, it was about as faithful to the book as it could be, given that it is a movie. But the book does a really good job of trying to get things as accurate as possible. But there is one major flaw in both the book and the film, and that is the premise by which Mark Watney gets stranded on Mars, and that is there's a massive storm which is causing, you know, there's a massive storm, it's blotting everything out, and everybody runs to the ascent vehicle, and the ascent vehicle is tipping. It's the wind's blowing so hard, and it's either they either got to launch or they're going to tip over. So they launch and leave Watney. They presume he's dead. Here's the catch, though. The winds on Mars, the Martian atmosphere is extremely thin. It's like a vacuum. That's why Watney always has to suit up for EVA, because he can't breathe out there. There's virtually no atmosphere. And therefore, while Mars does get storms, the winds would never blow strong enough to actually, you know, cause a blackout, let alone tipping over a rocket. It just wouldn't happen. But, you know, the author of the book said, look, I couldn't come up with a way to get to strand him on the planet, and while everyone else takes off. So
I think the part that irritated me was he's in space, you know, they're gonna get him. They're gonna get him. Like, it was just ridiculous. I
personally, I loved it, and up until the point where Christian has just completely ruined my whole life, I thought it was a true story.
Well, you know, you can always climb her out again.
I actually thought it was based on a true story. No, I'm kidding you, but it is kind of set like it is a true story. You know what I mean? And I mean, I didn't.
That's what I thought. 28 Days Later was a true story too.
Well, but come to Liverpool, it is a fucking true story. Believe me. I will show you Walking Dead on a daily basis. But no, I mean, getting back to the film, I mean, I didn't know that there wasn't solar storms on Mars, and because I've never read the book, so I mean, I'm not obviously. I don't know a quarter. I don't know a fucking blip of what Christian knows. But
yeah, Mars has storms, but it just doesn't have storms that will
blow a spaceship over.
Right.
So I liked it. So you didn't like it, Chris? No.
No, and I could really like bite into Matt Damon many times, but that one was kind of like, you know.
So now, what about Gravity? Gravity was another one that I've watched umpteen times. The one with Sandra Bullock and the guy out of.
I remember the trailers, but I didn't see it.
I don't think I saw it.
What's his name? Sandra Bullock was in it, and the guy out of. Oh, what's his name? He does the coffee adverts.
I love movies that have to deal with trying to survive. You know, like I love that kind of.
Well, basically, they're in space. They're fixing a satellite, and there's a load of debris coming towards them. So obviously, Houston are like, you need to get in the spaceship now. Get in the spaceship now. Something's happened. and then some of the debris hits something else, and then it's just an effect after something after another, and the spaceship gets smashed up. Everything gets smashed up, but the crazy thing about it is that it's completely silent.
I'll be right back. I'm putting some to bed.
Okay, so tuck her in.
Yeah, it's completely silent, because the first time I watched it, I was like, "Where's the noise?" And then you think it's in space. There's no noise. And would that actually happen, Christian? If you were, say you were outside the spaceship and you were doing a spacewalk, and I don't know, something came and hit the spaceship and blew it apart, would there be no noise?
So, okay. It's a bit of a myth that there's no noise in space. I mean, if there's enough, if you're close enough to it, and there's enough, if there's some medium by which sound waves can pass through, whether it's air, gas, something like that, you might hear a little bit. You'll definitely hear it. Like what I liked about, I think in all honesty, if something like that were to happen, if you're just floating around out there and then like over there, you see a satellite shatter, you're not going to hear it. Right. But what I did like was that when they were working on, I guess it was the Hubble Space Telescope they were repairing, and they were bumping up against it and so forth, you hear the, you know what I mean? You hear like those soft bumps, and that's exactly what you would hear, because that's the sound traveling through your suit, right? Your suit is touching the spacecraft, so when it vibrates, you hear those vibrations. So yeah,
you mean from their helmet camera, right?
Sorry?
From their helmet cameras they have or something, right?
Yeah, right. The helmet camera, if you bump in, boom, whatever, you're going to hear it. Right, exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I liked how they did it. I mean, there was so much about that movie that was just completely inaccurate and ridiculous, but I also understand it was in the service of a survival story, So I was like, okay, whatever. I did enjoy seeing it in the theater in IMAX 3D. I thought that was a really cool experience. I felt like that was the first time I ever actually felt that I was in space a little bit, Yeah, and I thought that was
George Clooney. It was. I couldn't remember who it was. It was Sandra Bullock and George Clooney.
That is a man that, like everybody's like, oh, he's so good looking. And I swear to you, when I tell you, every time I see him, I'm like, he is such an unusual looking dude. Like he does absolutely nothing. I don't get, like, at one point he was like sexiest man alive. I'm like, what?
I didn't understand that either. Charlie, you're breathing right onto your mic.
Still okay. Yeah. I'll just put it all the way up so it's off.
Yeah, I think it's just because you breathe out your nose, it automatically comes down. But no, I did that. The George Clooney one, that was the actual cinematics in it. Just the whole being in space was just, for me, it was like, wow, this is. Whoever filmed this or whoever, this is spot on. It was a beautiful bit of cinema, and it was just to watch it, just from. But I am that person that if there's nothing going on YouTube, or I'm not chatting to someone and I'm in work and it's boring, I will sit there and I'll watch the feed from the ISS, and I watch it all the time, purely because Christian is going to hate me for this now. But I purely watch it for the amount of stuff that NASA seem to hide on camera, or you see. I mean, and there's loads of Christians, and there's a load of conspiracy shite out there, and there is. But there is times on that ISS feed when you've seen something go past, and then it's changed directory. And then whoever's fixing something has just sort of done this. It's like you've got a movie hand up, Joe. There's a fucking one of them aliens has come. We don't want anyone to know. It does happen all the time.
I've seen those. I've seen that as well. And it's one of those things where just because it does something weird does not automatically mean it's alien.
Oh no, I mean it's not everything.
I've had weird stuff happen on live streams where all of a sudden there's like a little thing and it flashes across the screen, and it's just a piece of dust that hit the light. And it goes weird.
piece of dust, something like that. It also doesn't mean it's even real. It could be an image artifact. You know, there's like so many things going on that you have to remember that what you're watching is something that you don't have any depth perception. You don't know very easily whether or not something is just right in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, I love watching the RSS feed.
So it seems like it's super fast, right? Exactly. It's lovely to watch. But yeah, I've seen stuff. Like, oh,
it is nice. Modern Day Family Man's just come up with a cracker. Apollo 13.
That was me.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that was. I would love them. How old's Apollo 13 now? Because Tom Hanks is about 15 in it, isn't he?
No.
And he looks about 15 in it. But at that, I would love them to remake that now with the technology they've got now, and I would love them to remake Apollo 13 because that's based on a true story, isn't it?
That was a good movie. But I like the 2001 and the 2010 movies. Those movies were good to me. I liked them as a kid.
Space
I remember
Odyssey.
watching. Yeah, I watched the first one and then I watched the second one, and I was totally obsessed with Hal.
That I remember watching that when I was a kid, and that freaked me the fuck out. The first time I watched it, honest to God, I couldn't sleep because all I could hear was Hal in the background. It just freaked me out.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal. And like how the calm he stayed the whole time, it was like, it really was creepy.
Yeah.
Then when they brought him back for the second one, and I know the second one wasn't nearly as good as the first one, but the fact that they had that guy just sitting in the spacesuit, you know, just standing there, and that was just so creepy.
Oh yeah, Ira comes back, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it was so creepy. I was like, this is like, I loved those movies.
I think it was more the song. It was the Daisy.
Yeah.
It really did. When I was a kid, it freaked me out. And I don't know why, because it wasn't scary. It wasn't. I was at the age where I didn't understand what like a suspense thriller was. You don't. Like that was it. I didn't understand that. It was just a space film.
There wasn't a lot of dialogue in that film, so almost you created what was going on if you're young and you're in your own head. In your mind, you created a movie that wasn't necessarily what that movie was about.
It was completely. I must have created something in my head that was just far from what was going on.
Stanley Kubrick, he was a genius. I mean, that's a really good point, Chris. I mean, just the fact that he was able to create so much story with so little dialogue. I think there was something I heard once. There was less than 20 minutes of dialogue in the entire film.
Wow!
I believe that.
Yeah, and just
do you think that could even fly in this day and age, unless it's some like Sundance Film Festival thing? I don't think that could ever fly.
I think it could. I think there's enough space nerds out there. Like I'm not talking. I'm not. That's not a.
I'm talking about the style of film.
I even think like Chocolate Orange, Clockwork Orange, Chocolate Orange, Clockwork. I think even if they brought Clockwork Orange out now, that would still be a massive.
They've tried to redo that movie. They have, and it was terrible.
Yeah,
and like the first one was just, it was so creepy. And I think the day and age that it came out too, there was just. I don't know, there wasn't as much communication as there is now, the ability of communication. So when you saw something like that, it was so shocking. It was just so shocking.
Yeah, but I mean, they've tried to remake a load of films.
There just isn't much shock left,
No. They tried to remake RoboCop, it was shit. They tried to remake Total Recall, that was a load of shite. I know, they've tried to remake Blade Runner, and they've fucking completely destroyed that. From my perspective, you just leave it.
Wasn't very good.
Leave it be. You know what I mean? Just let these things be. It's an iconic classic film. You don't need to make.
Yeah, when you make a classic iconic film, let it be just that. Like or something. I mean, I think if they even redid Jaws, I think I'd be offended. If you watch the old Jaws, I mean, granted, it looks like a puppet coming out of the water. Who gives a crap? It was an awesome movie. You could still watch.
And let's be honest, how many people in this chat now, and how many people do you know, if you are abroad or you are in the water and someone goes, You fucking get out that water, and you know there's no shark there, but you get out there. It just freaks you out. I remember doing it to our James when we were away, and we were just snorkeling, and we came up and we were just bobbing around, and I went and he just looked at me, screamed. And just, I've never seen a child, I've never seen a kid swim so fast to the shore, which then put the shits up me, because I thought, oh shit, there is a shark. So the pair of us, I'd freaked the pair of us out, but no, it is scary. 30-day reviews just said, has anyone seen Sphere?
Yeah, I saw Sphere. That was with Jodie Foster.
Which one? See, now the best one of my all-time favourite films with Jodie Foster in is
Panic Room.
Which? Panic? No, not Panic. Not Panic Room. Contact.
I think I fixed my microphone. It's off the webcam now. Can you guys hear that okay?
That's a lot better, Charlie.
That's a ton better.
We're not getting. There's no ASMR going on or nothing.
I know. I was like, I could hear your nostril hairs moving. So loud.
Yeah, Contact with Jodie Foster. That was
a good one.
That to me, being a sort of UFO space type of the type of dick I am, that is that could happen. It's just the whole thing about maybe not going to the other planet, but the whole getting a signal and having to do something that is plausible for me.
Yeah, it was Stone, not Foster. Foster was in Contact.
Yeah, Jodie Foster was no, not Jodie.
Who was in Contact? Who was that?
Jodie Foster or Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, in Contact. It wasn't Sharon Stone in the
No, it was the girl who was in Silence of the Lambs. The one who's
Jodie Foster.
Who's got the accent.
Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey were the.
Oh, yes, Sphere is the one he was talking about. I had gotten that wrong.
So which one was Sphere?
I'm gonna look it up right now. Sphere.
Was that the one that was under the water? As I can't.
That was
remember.
The Abyss. The Abyss was so good. Yeah. I loved that movie. Like the whole Lost Atlantis underneath the sea. That was so good. I like the sci-fi. Eddie did not like anything sci-fi. I have to talk him into it.
Sharon Stone was in Sphere. I can't. The spaceship it was the Sphere. Was the spaceship underwater?
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was The Abyss.
The Abyss was underwater as well. I do remember The Abyss. But
wasn't they scuba diving in the Abyss?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
I loved that movie.
Yeah. What's your all-time?
They were searching for you're right. They were searching for a ship. That's been a long time. They were searching for a lost ship, and they got into this area, and they kept going, trying to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then they end up finding basically the underwater Atlantis.
Which I firmly do believe there's things under the sea that we'll never know.
Wouldn't that be wouldn't that be cool to explore under the water? Like how much stuff is underneath the water?
Under the sea.
Yeah, but how cool would that be? Like there is lost cities under the sea that we've not explored. They every once in a blue moon in the Caribbean, they'll find or even in the Mediterranean, they'll find already, barely touched artifacts, they peel off all the seaweed and stuff, and it's they're perfectly preserved jars, and sometimes they still have stuff inside them. I mean, how friggin' cool is that? It kind
of annoys me, to be honest, because you do get NASA spending, we waste so much money. Like I said, Elon Musk with SpaceX, NASA with, all this stuff has got to be done. I understand it's got to be done, and it's great, and it's needed. But why is no one looking under the water? Because
there's lots of people looking under the water. I don't think it's as big as what you see. It's mostly private money that does it.
Yeah, but it's the amount of money they put into space research. Surely, let's research our own planet first. Let's find out what is, because we don't. I mean, like I said the other week, we've only actually mapped 10% of the oceans in the world. 10% So there's 90% of the sea that we don't know what exists in there. It's like, why has no government or why has no one decided, okay, well, we've been to the moon, we've been to Mars a couple of times, let's plow a load of money into actually finding out what's on our own planet?
Why not both?
Well, yeah, but why? Yeah.
Well, I think some of the thing with the sea exploration, it's just not as sexy as what you see in space. So there's more interest, widespread interest when it comes to space than it is when it comes to what they find under the sea. It's like a blurb in the news. It's like, oh, we just found this unusual fish that's never been seen in the last 10,000 years. But yeah, we found it. Cool. And then on to the next story. No one even talks about it the next day. But if you talk about the fact that they launched this, this telescope and everybody goes out there and they watch the rocket go off and they're following that. That's just a much sexier, easier way to sell.
I think as well is that you've got so many countries competing and there's so many businesses competing to get out into space to basically put their mark on space to be better than NASA. I just think that the Earth is just kind of, they've just lost it when it comes to looking on the Earth. I mean, look at Elon Musk. I mean, one of the best things I have ever seen was that rocket that can land itself.
Oh, the boosters, when those came back down, that right there, I almost started crying because I'm like, that looks like something you'd see out of a movie. That is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. When they came back down at the same time on that little, that was amazing.
It was just, can I just interrupt for a minute and just ask why Beanie looks like Doc Brown?
Beanie, man.
I think he's Doc Brown.
Doc Brown out of Back to the Future. You've just got this. And I know I have some pretty magical hairdos going on sometimes.
Oh, that's quite a tight little
Is Beanie getting mugged there?
Crikey. Uh-oh. Now he's up with the alligator hunter. What is his name?
I'm looking at stuff.
Oh, look at the stuff. But
just seeing what kind of accessories come with my with this camera that I'm getting.
Yeah, Patty Broussard just said it was amazing. It didn't seem real, and it didn't. I remember watching it, and I was like, "That's fucking landed itself." It's just, how is that possible? It's unmanned. It's not a child's toy. This thing is, it was either going to go wrong on an epic scale, or they were going to. And then when they nailed it, they put it on the platform in the sea, and I was like, "You know what, Elon? Yeah, you've got my vote. You are the man." Is there much rivalry between SpaceX and NASA, Christian? Do you know? Obviously, do you know?
I'm not really sure. I mean, it is kind of a weird thing because NASA's developing their own super launcher, right? The next biggest rocket ever built, the Space Launch System. But the problem, and the thing is, like, NASA's basically saying, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pay SpaceX and Boeing and I guess now Sierra Nevada, to develop ships that can carry astronauts back and forth from the space station while we go and develop the next generation great big super rocket, which will take us to Mars.
Right.
The problem, though, is that the Space Launch System is the rocket to nowhere. It doesn't really have a mission. I know we hear about this, this is going to take us to Mars. Yeah. But we've not yet funded a mission to Mars. We don't even have a mission to go back to the moon. So we're building this rocket, we're building this thing so damn slowly that it's a jobs program. It's something that every Congress critter wants a piece of so that they can, yes, I'm helping to build this thing, and they're employing people in these high-tech positions. Well, there's a reason it's called the Senate Launch System. It's sort of like a boondoggle. It's become a bit of a white elephant. Meanwhile, Elon Musk and SpaceX are building the big Falcon rocket, the great big thing, designed to take humans to Mars. In other words, Elon is saying, screw you, NASA. I don't care if you think, you want us to ferry astronauts back and forth from the station. Got it. We'll do that. No problem. But we're going to go to Mars, and we're probably going to get there before you. because we're serious about building this rocket. You don't seem to be serious about building yours.
I do think Elon Musk, he just seems to have he just seems to be one step ahead. I don't know what
he's eons ahead. He's an alien. I'm telling you, he's not human. He already knows. I mean, like he was able to gather the greatest minds in the world and create the rocket, like that landed its rocket boosters back and didn't fall into the sea like they normally do. I mean, like he did that on his own.
As far as I'm concerned, he's putting them to shame.
He kind of is. I mean, I don't know. The guy is a genius. He's got that much tech out there, and there's that much stuff that we use that is connected to Elon Musk and things like that, and it's. And the poor guy got kicked out of his own company.
Right. But at the same time, SpaceX wouldn't happen without NASA. You know what I mean? So it's like, like sometimes Elon likes to say, oh, yes, we're doing all these great things. Yeah, because NASA gave you money. They gave them seed money to help them get started. He's
a smart businessman. I mean,
he did. Which I got no problem with at all. But I mean, SpaceX wouldn't be SpaceX without NASA. So I mean, it really is a symbiotic relationship. So that's why it's a bit of a complicated answer to your question. Are they competition? Yeah, kind of, but no, not really.
It's crazy as well that we went from, you went from the Reagan era with NASA and things like that, and it was we've got to get to the moon, and then for years it seems like we've done. Yeah, we built the International Space Station. But it all seems to slow down for years, and then all of a sudden it's pushed to the forefront again.
I think what it is that, especially with American money, it's like, why are we going to space? We need cures for cancer. How can we justify going to space at this point? And then we had such an economic downturn, and like they had to close. Like it just seemed like tax money that went to NASA seemed silly to a lot of Americans. So that funding went to shit.
Have you ever seen the American black budget?
No,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because you won't see that budget.
No, but have you ever seen how much budget goes to? Obviously the military get so much, and it's sectioned into who gets what, healthcare, schools, blah blah blah. But the actual the black budget that you don't know how much has gone is just phenomenal. Same as the UK are the same. I mean, we're not the size of America, but the UK must be putting money into whatever it's developing weapons or. The UK aren't into space. We're too fucking stupid. But it takes great. There are some good minds in the UK, but I just think we're not as ambitious in England. We're not as everyone's kind of. Not laid back, but they're too lazy.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Neil, because we've had people that come from England come over here work as loan officers and work, try to do things like here as far as real estate and stuff, and they're like, y'all work a lot, they're like, we just don't work like this. We're not used to this. We're not really like. They're not real go-getters. Let me put it that
way. In the UK, it's a case of we work to live, but in America, you live to work. It's like it becomes your passion, and that's it. The UK.
We don't have a choice, honestly.
No,
you can either live like shit, or you can live like And there's people that work really hard and make no money, but you have no choice. You have to work hard or you can't live.
See, the problem you've got in the UK is there's plenty of jobs out there, but you've got half the population that don't want to work because they can't be asked, because they get paid the same amount of money off the government to stay alive as they would do having a job. So it's like you get the mentality of, well, why should I go to work when I'll get all my benefits cut? And then I'll have to pay for everything myself. No one thinks of it like, maybe because for self-esteem or something like that. So it's just crazy. And then you've got the people that do go to work that want, I don't really want to go to work. Can I finish at 4 o'clock? No one's got drive. But then you look at America and it's like, you guys are just like, we're doing this job. We're going to do it as good as we can. We're going to do it.
We we have 3 million people on welfare we got to support, huh, Chris?
Well, it isn't just that. It's the fact that, like, if you want to have a nice house, you have to work. If you want to drive
That's
a nice
true.
car, you're going to have to work. If you want the nicer, better life, you have to work your ass off for it. And if you're unwilling to do that, then you don't get those things.
I don't know whether it's just because the UK is, the UK is tiny compared to America, like literally tiny, but it is a strange place. I think that's why nothing, we don't have anything like NASA or anything. There's nothing comes out. I mean, they even closed down. What did he close down last year? They even closed down the actual. It was the Army UFO research division. They actually just shut that down. So we don't need that anymore.
Hey, Christian, do you believe in UFOs? Do you think that there's little space aliens that come and visit the United States and UK? And do you believe in all that stuff? I'm sure you've seen pictures of all that crap and stuff. What do you think of it?
I think we talked about this before, but
yeah,
certainly I've seen. Yeah, I believe that there are unidentified flying objects. But
do you think that they're like aliens that come and visit us and hang out and say, I'm done, I'm leaving?
Let me put it this way: I don't have any reason to believe that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I wanted to know.
Right, just because I see something I can't understand or something I can't understand, therefore it's aliens. Well, that's pretty presumptuous of me to assume that I know all there is to know about technology and engineering and weather phenomena and all that kind of stuff, where I could positively rule out any terrestrial reason for it. No, I don't have that much knowledge. I'm not that smart. And
I think you are.
No, well, thank you. It's nice of you to say that, but I certainly don't think that so when I see things that I don't understand, I try to understand them as best I can. But again, I don't believe that there's ipso facto proof that is intelligent alien technology that we're seeing here. You know what I mean?
I wonder if aliens would make snow angels.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, I reckon he was. See, my only thing with you, because I kind of believe that. I believe that there's aliens here. I believe that they've been here for years. I believe that they live amongst us.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, like Elon Musk.
I think they draw great dinosaurs and.
They do, and they make big, good rockets. But my reason for that is that you've got to look, and the way I look at it is that, take for instance 1910, like the year 1910. So from 1910 up to 1970, we developed some pretty cool things like the wheel, and the car, and the train, and the telephone. But from 1980 to now, you look at the amount of technology that has come in the past 30 years compared to the past 500 years. We've come, it's like,
but it's the availability of information. That was the change. That's the switch.
Yeah, but the information's already been there. We've always had the information. It's like, how did technology progress so rapidly and so quick in the past few years?
Well, technology helps to create more technology.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, so it's like a snowball effect or a snow angel effect. However you prefer to think of it.
I like it.
Right, but basically that's really what it comes down to. I mean, you're right, Neil. I mean, we had a certain technology curve, and it's kind of just gone up. But you also have to remember that even in 1910, the level of technology was so far advanced and was advancing so much faster than it was in 1710. Or you know what I mean, or 1310. So in other words, the curve has always been exponential.
It just seems that the past 20 years, we've gone from it's like it is like that, and then it just seems to have gone boom.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't mean that can't be human caused. In fact, it is human caused. We're clever apes, and we've been making ourselves work. At least we think so, because technology helps you to build more technology.
I mean, the technology that we've got now is just. I mean, look at you, Chris. Today, you bought a brand new computer today, and within a couple of hours, every single part of your life that was on your old computer is now on the new one, and you've basically all you have to do is log into it.
That was like, I didn't know, like, because I've had computers in the past. I guess I never used the backup tower before. I just had it just in case something was to happen. But I didn't realize that I could use that to get a new computer and everything was going to be on there. And literally the part that blew my mind is that it actually even opened up the tabs I had open when my computer shut down. So
That's
all the
scary.
it still had YouTube up. It still had the AI that I was looking up for my thumbnails, and it still had PicMonkey still up. And this is the other part that blew my mind. I was working on some clips in iMovie and Final Cut Pro. I thought for sure those would be gone because
Still
they
there.
came from an outside source. They were still there.
It is. I mean, it is the technology that we've got now. I mean, you've only got to look at this chat. You've got 4 of you guys are in America, Beanie's in Australia, and I'm in the UK, and we're all connected to each other seamlessly. It's like, even go back 10 years ago, this would, you'd have been like, no, you can't do that.
I will never forget. There's a show called Good Morning.
Next few moments.
Say again.
If anyone
Sorry.
heard that, I was just saying I'm gonna have to head off for a little bit, and hopefully I can come back before you guys all head out.
Yeah, same here. I gotta get to bed.
Oh,
Yeah, me too, actually.
Oh my God! Everybody's leaving us.
everyone's gone. There'll be 3 of us left. This is where we got to drag. We need to drag Patty. Patty, the link's there. You should have. Why have you not come in, Patty Broussard?
She's with her grandson. She's in the bed with her grandson.
Ah, right. I know. Her daughter had taken. Her daughter was taken sick, and she had to. She'd been past grandmother rights.
All right, see ya.
See you, Charlie.
I'll be back a little bit later.
I
Cheerio.
He's definitely up to no good.
Beauty Bubble asked what kind of backup tower I was using. It's called it's by Apple, and it was like 2 terabytes full of memory, and it updates every like 45 minutes.
You said it was Apple. It was an Apple time capsule.
Yeah, a time capsule. That's right. And it's this. I don't know if anybody can see this thing here.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Where is it?
I have one.
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen one of them.
Isn't it sexy? So sexy.
So that basically just cloud storage is all.
That's my backup.
So what about your phones linked up to that as well?
No, I could. I don't do that. There's no. I just use the cloud storage from Apple.
Right. Yeah, because that is one of the best things ever, the cloud storage. But my MacBook Pro, that's on. I just have a hard drive, just a time machine, and I just plug it in every couple of weeks or every month or so, and it just backs the whole thing up.
Yeah, this one does it like every 45 minutes. So, like I said, it like when it took it from exactly the moment it went nuts, and that was it. Who came in?
30 days. That I don't know. I didn't even know Apple done them, to be honest. So have you got one as well, Christian?
Yeah, I do. Really
Do you
nice.
use a Mac?
Do I use a Mac? Oh yeah, absolutely.
MacBook Air.
I have a MacBook Air. Yeah. I make my videos on a MacBook Air.
What is the difference between a MacBook Pro and a MacBook Air?
A lot. I mean,
Yeah.
a Pro can accommodate much more RAM. It can
Okay.
accommodate much more storage. It can accommodate. It can have faster processors, better
Okay.
video. It's just better all around.
I think
Okay.
that the Air was basically built for from what I can gather, it was kind of built for the student market, because it was like you can type out all your essays on it. I mean, have you seen the thickness? The thickness of the MacBook Air is
Yeah,
just
really thin.
it's about as thick as an iPad. It's just so thin.
And they're really lightweight too. I mean, they're an excellent I mean, believe it or not, I mean, I'm surprised I get as much done on the air as I do. I mean, I do everything on the air. You know, I make videos, you know, for crying out loud. But at the same time, I'm not going to be doing like a lot of like really sophisticated motion graphics or something like that if I wanted to do that on the air. You know, but
it's just the processing power, isn't it? The processing power on the air isn't as good as the MacBook Pro. That is just the processing power in that is just phenomenal.
How much RAM did you get, Chris?
Let me see. How do I, like, about this Mac? I look under there, and then what you look under storage, right? Or displays? No.
No,
overview.
You want to go to overview. System report.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. Right there on the main Apple thing, it'll tell you
system information.
MacBook Pro, and then it'll tell you like 13-inch.
Yep.
And then processor. What is your processor?
I have a quad core Intel Core i5.
Oh God.
And then I have 8 gigabytes of memory.
Oh, you got just the 8. Okay.
And then
because it's only the 13, not the 15. I think the 13 is a smaller memory size.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what else you want to know.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like you. So I have 8 gigs of memory as well, but I have a 1.4 gigahertz Intel Core i5 processor.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds great. What does that mean? Well, that means it's less powerful than yours. And so yours is going to process video faster than mine will. It's going to render video much faster than mine can. So
What? So let me ask you this: can you run Final Cut Pro on an Air?
Probably. I mean, I run Adobe Premiere Pro on this Air.
Okay.
So yeah. In fact,
my other computer was 4 years old, and I could run Final Cut Pro on it. And people were like, "You can." I was able to render 4K videos on it, and they were like, "No way!" I was like, "I did it all the time."
It's because it's the Pro. Because it's the Pro.
Yeah, it ran slow as molasses, but
I can render 4K on this too. It's just it's going to take forever.
Yeah, it took forever, but whatever, it worked.
Have you messed around with the top bar yet?
I only did it to adjust the volume. This little bar thing to me seems really stupid, but
you'll start using it when you're actually editing your videos, because you'll scroll through the video and it'll just become, as you start using it more and more, it'll become like a second mouse pad. They're really clever. A lot of people don't like them. The actual touch bar. It was one of those things when he brought it out. It was like this. There was a divide. It was like, we hate them, we love them. There was no quarter in the middle. It was like I think it's just a new piece of technology that they brought out that was just.
I like the fact that buttons are bigger, and I like the fact that the mouse, the little pad where you can scroll around on the keyboard itself is much bigger. I like that. The
trackpad's huge on them.
The trackpad, thank you.
Yeah, the trackpad is absolutely massive on them. But it's, where did he go from this one? Because that, you see the
it's so light. That's the other thing that I'm like, it's freaking me out how light it is.
And the battery power as well. You get 9 hours of use out of it.
But it's called the Air.
Mine is not an Air. Mine's a Pro.
I thought yours was the Air.
No, mine's a Pro.
Yeah, Christine got the Pro. So the Air is lovely.
I like the Air.
It's just it is what it is, isn't it? It's just, what's the price range between the Air and the Pro? Is there
Mine cost me $1,800 for this.
I think an Air would be a little less.
They talked me out of the Air though. They were like, "No, that's not what you want."
You're better with it. You got Touch ID with that as well.
Yes, like soon as they have you set up your fingerprint, as soon as you open the thing up.
Yeah, so it's like on a computer, Touch ID, boom, just the same as your phone. It's just
So guys, I'm gonna hop off here as well. I'll see you on the chat
Okay. Are you going to put out a video this week?
Yeah, I am.
And we're all looking forward to it. We were waiting all weekend for it. I'm not being ugly. I'm being serious.
You are? Oh, okay. All right.
We actually like you, Christian, a lot.
I do. I really think you guys are fantastic. I love.
Even though we bust your chops, because we love you.
Yeah, I think we.
I've had more people express their love for me in my entire effing life. No, it's cool. I know. No, I'm working on my Planet 9 follow-up video, the one that Matt made that thumbnail for me. So I want to finally get that video done. I'm editing it now, laying in all the animations, blah 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 blah. So yeah, and then I'll probably make like I got to come up with some sort of take on today's landing that I can talk about, because like, you know, it's gonna get clobbered in the rankings, you know, the search rankings, you know. Oh, you know, Mars Insight.
But do you though? I mean, why?
Because everyone's pumping out videos, you know.
So let them pump it all out. If you know you've got your direction, you know, you don't necessarily need to jump on. I mean, by the time you get a video out and jump on it, it's gone. It's past tense, isn't it? It's old news unless you can get it out. Unless you can do one today that's going to be out tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bother, to be honest. I wouldn't worry about it myself. Really,
it's almost like putting out a Thanksgiving video the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, almost like that. And there's other stories that I want to talk about that's also kind of technically old news, but you know, I still have like something I want to talk about in them. So I'm not hurting for stuff to talk about. That's the great thing. There's a whole freaking universe out there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not big enough yet where I can, you know, be like, oh, you know, oh, Launchpad's got a video on Mars. Ooh, put that up front, you know. No, and YouTube's gonna be like, who the hell is this guy? You know. So yeah.
You're Christian Ready.
Yeah.
Launchpad Astronomy. That's who you are. Boom. How about that?
There's going to be so many videos tomorrow on the actual landing on Mars that it's going to.
I think you should like use a paper cup and be like, this is what it really looked like from the other side, and use a paper cup and then go. And then add some dust at the bottom, you know, and have it flying in the air. And then
actually, I had one idea for a video. I told my students about it. I said, you know, we should make a video where I'm like going like, oh my God, they landed on Mars. And I turn and I look at the students, guys, they landed on Mars. And the kids are all like, you know.
You should get the kids involved in the videos, but
I might do that tomorrow. I might say, all right, you know, who wants to do this bit with me?
How old are your students?
They're college, you know, so they're going to be like,
they're of age. They can,
yeah.
Because you know, you get some wackadoodle parent like, you put my child on video. I didn't want it to be on the internet. You know, you don't have to worry about that garbage.
Well,
I love it when people say that. It's like your kid's already on there, whether you think they are or not, somewhere or another. So
people are stupid.
Yeah, it's
because I actually thought about how I would film that. It's funny, like now that I do this, you know, now I'm thinking like, how would I do that? I realized, damn it, I don't have a good enough, like I don't have like I could wear like my lavalier microphone, so like my voice would come through, but like how do I get it so that the students from across the room, you know, get to do their bit of like, oh, is this on the test? You know, like you know, it's like, oh, I wish I had that Rode shotgun.
Yeah,
you
could
look
separately.
One separately.
Put the lav mic on them, and then have them do their little bit, and then just edit it in so that you right.
Yeah,
you don't have to do it all in one shot.
That's what I do.
There must be some of the kids that are interested.
So.
There must be some of the kids in the
Well,
you know,
you're
I'm
at
not
a college.
saying all
Go
of them.
and get help from the
Oh yeah, no.
You work at a college, don't they have a PA department? Or an
They
AP
do,
department,
yeah.
whatever?
They do.
Okay, go and be like, hey, who wants to help me with this?
Yeah,
There you go, done. They'll figure it out. They'll probably have it done in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, kids these days.
They've got all the stuff.
I thought my microphone wasn't working then. There must be some of the kids in the classroom that really want to come on and do something.
Maybe, you know, I mean, I can always ask, like, okay, who wants to do this? Like, if I decide this is what I want to do, like this particular gag, it's just a fun little gag, But I have to think about like, okay, well, what's the rest of the video going to be about? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I have to make a Mars Insight video.
You don't have to though. Just have a little 3-4 minute gig.
Yeah,
exactly.
you could do it like it wasn't
just a video.
Just a little vignette. It's like, well,
oh, I love that word, vignette. That's one I use.
Or just have it like an advertisement right in front of your regular content.
There you go.
Or after.
Yeah, you could do it like at the end.
Like an end reel, like an end blooper reel. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, NASA have landed a probe on Mars. See you next week. Just like
anyway, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I'll see you on the chat thing you do.
Yep. Good night, Christian.
Good night, Christian.
Dream of snow angels.
Love you guys. See ya.
See you later, buddy.
Love you more than peanut butter.
So Ed and Justin.
She's allergic to peanut butter.
She hates peanut butter. So have Ed and Justin bought anything on the
Now you lost your mic.
Nah, is my mic on, is it?
I hear your mic just fine.
So do I.
Yeah.
You all got really quiet.
It's that damn Nexus computer you got. That
Not my computer.
Yeah, I think there was I don't know why, but I keep thinking that I am having problems with the mic, but then it keeps showing up on the screen, so I know I'm working because I'm coming up on my screen. That's all. So did you buy anything in the Black Friday sales, Justin?
I don't think he heard you.
No, I think Justin's
he's MIA.
Yeah, Justin's microphone's acting the I think it's his earphones that are acting the messing about.
Yeah. Yep.
Are we not coming through to you, Justin? Obviously not.
Houston, we have a problem.
Justin's actually, he's not getting. Are you actually hearing any of this, or he's just doing it? He's trying to do an RPM. He's trying to do a reverse me on what I do to RPM, but I know I'm working because as soon as you speak, you come on the camera.
Yeah, I can't hear him, so.
I don't think he's muted himself either.
Now
he's fixed it.
Oh.
I can't believe that camera bean he's thinking to buy is $400.
Well, I hope it's worth it.
And that's with $200 off as well.
That's a big chunk of change.
It's a lot of money for an action cam, isn't it?
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't compare. But I do want to ask you about your lights. You don't look as real estate whisperer. Your lights before were very pink and green and looked very real estate whisperer. This it's more of like a club scene going on now.
What the back of me?
That blue and red.
What color would you like them to be?
Let's make them yellow. Let's make them green and red for Christmas.
How festive.
Are you there, Neil?
Yeah, I'm. Can you not see I'm changing the color?
Oh no, let me see here.
Green, red.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go.
I'll change the other one now.
There we go. Now you're very young. We'll hear those bells ringing a ding ding do do do.
Is that okay? Are you happy with that green? I was going to go with the green and red, and then Emma said to me, "Oh, you look like a fucking traffic light."
I think it's pretty.
So it was.
It's a very festive.
It was. Actually, they're so bright. I mean,
I would actually make it opposite though. I'd make it red on each side and green in the middle.
They are quite big. They're the lights.
I like them. I want those. How much do you think those run?
Oh, they're only cheap. They're only LED power cannons. They're not dear. So you think red and green in the middle?
Yes.
Right. I'll change this, and you guys talk.
Okay. Talk. Okay. So listen, Justin. You came in late, so we were talking about Article 13 earlier. What, do you know anything about it, and do you have any commentary about Article 13?
Besides the fact that it's bullshit.
Right, but I don't know enough about it to speak on it, so I would like to understand more about it.
I
So
lost you again.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we can hear him, which is weird. Last time we couldn't hear him.
So evidently, there's something wrong with this very expensive little
doohickey
that I bought. So then I didn't have to, use only one mic. So I'm gonna have to screw around with that and figure out what's wrong with that and go and get another one. Anyway, I think it sucks for everybody over there because YouTube can go two ways with it. Either they can completely just make it so that Europe doesn't get YouTube, or they can try to limit what everybody else can put on their platform. And they make way too much money on even the small creators. Granted, yes, they only made like $70 off me this month or whatever, but you add me plus 1,000 other creators up, that's a decent chunk of money, right? So it's easier for them just to say, well, sorry, Europe, you no longer get our content. Same thing with Facebook, same thing with all these other places that won't, because they're not going to put the chance of Europe saying, oh, well, now we're going to fine you for everything that we find because that would bankrupt them. So it's just easier for them to just say, nope, sorry, not going to happen. And, you guys no longer get YouTube, which really sucks, is stupid. But it seems to me like governments, and not just theirs, lately it's been a lot of bullshit. Like, we're going to put a bill through, but we don't know what's in it until we make the laws for the bill.
Right. And that's what I was just going to say. Did you ever notice that a lot of times that these big things, like for instance, when we had what they called Obamacare, there was all this other earmarked crap that was in there that nobody really knew about, and they pushed it through, and then some people are like, whoa, you signed this, and now it's going to cause this,
right?
Which never happened. A lot of people panicked for things.
It was, some of it did, some of it didn't, but like there's just a lot of that. That's why I don't pay attention when, like, especially like we just had the elections, right? When you get somebody saying, oh, well, so-and-so didn't sign this bill to help veterans. Well, what the hell else was in that bill? Yeah. That's the real reason why they didn't sign it. What little thing did they put in there that had nothing to do with the veterans bill at all? That person was totally 100% against. That's why I don't listen to that junk, because you never know what the real reason was that they decided not to sign it. Or the real reason why they did decide to sign it. You get all these people saying, oh, well, they flip-flopped. Well, no, they got something out of signing the bill. What?
Right.
Most of us won't ever know, because none of us are going to read a stack of papers this big that only 5 lawyers can understand.
It's never as cut and dry as you think it is.
It never is.
There's always a million other reasons.
So what are politicians saying about Article 13?
What's saying?
It's from what I can gather it's quite divided, because it's got to go for a final vote. It doesn't just affect YouTube. It'll affect everything. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Well, Facebook honestly is probably the worst when it comes to copyright. I'm telling you, real estate agents all the time are posting videos that literally rip the song off. Like this girl did Tina Turner's Simply the Best. She did the whole entire song, like just playing it just like you would hear it on a CD, and laying it over where she did a little bit of commentary, but you heard mostly Tina Turner singing about this walkthrough of her house. And I'm like, I'm like, don't you dare post that on YouTube. You're going to, you'll get your channel removed. Because I mean, she didn't even there was no covering it up. And then another real estate agent did that song "Take on Me" by Aha. He did the whole entire song, the whole thing, where he's just basically doing the floss in each room. It was hysterical. But I mean, when the video came out and it went viral, I thought, oh my God, copyright. But Facebook does not fine people for copyright like they do YouTube. And why is that? Why is it Facebook lets people get away with that crap?
Because Facebook doesn't care. Facebook is all about the money. Facebook doesn't have direct advertisers.
But why? But yeah, I understand that. But why isn't the people that own the rights to those songs? Why aren't they going after them? Because if I was the like Tina Turner's, like if somebody got over 1 million views and it was constantly shared on Facebook, I would be going right after that person that created that video and saying, "Hey, you owe me some money."
It could actually, it could be country as well. Because like I said the other week,
Tina Turner's American.
Yeah, I know, but I have loaded stuff up. I've put stuff on YouTube on my Facebook channel, and I've done live streams in work, and it's been taken down or it's been stopped, and I've got a message: this content has been removed for copyright. I have had that on Facebook before.
I've never had that on Facebook. Yeah. I've never seen it. And then every time I ever make a comment, I'm like, "You're lucky you haven't gotten hit with copyright." Every time I see it, I'm like, I'm always surprised because it'd be me if I won't even hum a song that I think is copyrighted because I'm afraid. I don't want to lose my channel over something stupid. And it can happen to anybody. If it can happen to Brian G, it certainly can happen to my little puny channel.
I think you will find. I think if it does get brought through, I think one, it's just stupid because it's all right. It's great them bringing Article 13 through, but then each country or they've got something like 2 years to implement the law into place. So even if they do put it through, they've still got 2 years to bring it into place, and then. We all know that within 2 years it can get scrapped, it can get banned, it can get abolished. I mean, you've only got to look at the UK now with Brexit, and they're now talking about we need to have a revote because we don't actually want to be out of Europe. It's like,
do you know that it was the funniest thing ever was that whole thing with Brexit, right? And then people voted for Brexit, and then when they asked and interviewed people. Why did you vote for Brexit? Why did you vote to have yourself removed? And they were like, "Oh, is that what that meant?" They had no idea what they voted for.
No one. But that again, that's typical England. It's like you can literally say
it's the same here.
You could literally say, right, okay, we're going to vote to have a glass or a cup. Right, and you can make it as plain as day, right? This is a glass, this is a cup, and people will go in and they'll vote, and then they'll come out and they'll go, "What did you vote for?" I was like, the spoon. It's like, well, no, it was a cup or a glass, and it's like, what do you mean a cup or a glass? So you've just been to vote. What did you vote for? Oh, I don't know. It's just like we don't pay attention. We don't pay attention to what's going on in our own country until things happen and it's too late. And it's then like, oh, why did we let this happen? It's like, because you all fucking voted for it 12 months ago. Well, I don't remember that. I remember watching it on the television and it was ridiculous. It was the whole leaving Europe. I can see the pros and I can see the cons. It's kind of a crazy one, but, we fought for years to be part of Europe and then now we all of a sudden want out of Europe. It's
now there were people that were legitimately like, yeah, we're done with this. What did you feel about it afterwards? How did you?
What, actually coming out of Europe?
Yeah, and just having your own thing going on.
The way I look at it, the way England is run anyway, I don't really think it matters whether we're in Europe or we're not in Europe. Like I said, it's got pros and it's got cons, and they both kind of level each other out. But again, It's governments, and we don't, you know, what we get told and what happens. You know, like we've said in the past, we're just pawns in the game. We just live here, and that's all. We just occupy space in a country that other people control. The same
When
as
you said pawns, I heard porns. Just saying.
It's all right. Well, we some of us are pawns. Some of us have made porn, but you know, it's the same as any country in the world. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you live. You only live there. You don't have a say. You don't have a control. You don't have an opinion. You get told. That's what governments are for, isn't it? We just go with the flow. But the British just kind of, whereas the Americans would rally up again. Oh no, this isn't fucking happening. You're not doing that. The British just tend to sit back and go, "Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, it'll be better. Just let's have a cup of tea and it'll all be okay."
My grandma's whole thing was like, no matter what stressful problem that you had, no matter what it was, you got a headache, you know, you're having a bad day at work, you had a fight with your kids, whatever. She'd be like, "Oh, did you have a BM this morning?" Because apparently pooping solves all your problems. And then her second cure to every problem was, maybe you should put on some lipstick. You'll feel better if you put some lipstick on. Like,
Yeah.
what, Grandma?
My mum's is a cup of tea. Everything gets. I mean, my mum finished her last bout of chemotherapy today. She went for 6 hours of chemo on, when was it, last week? I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, and then she had an hour one today, and that was her last one. She's done like 4 months of it, I think. 4 months of chemo, and it was the last one today. And I spoke to her before because she had to go to the hospital, and then she had to wait because I had all intentions of going down. And I was like, "What time are you going to be out?" She's like, "I don't know. I'm waiting for blood samples to come back because they have to test the blood before they give her the chemo. And then if her bloods aren't right, then she has to wait round and then get them tested again in another hour because the bloods change." So she didn't know. She didn't actually give me a time. So I just said, "Well, let me know when you're in." And then she rang me when she'd finished, and I was like, because in the chemotherapy ward that they're in, they have a bell. So when you finish your treatment, you ring the bell, and whoever's in there will give you a cheer and a clap, and it's like, "Well done," sort of thing. And I spoke to her on the way because we were meant to go for dinner. And I said, "Where do you want to go?" And she went, "I'm not feeling too good. We're just going to go home." She said, I'm feeling a bit sick after the chemo." And she went, "But I'll have a cup of tea and it'll all be okay." It's like, you've just had chemotherapy and a cup of tea is going to solve this. It's like,
you know, if I have the stomach virus, the only thing I have is a cup of tea.
I mean, to be honest, a cup of tea, it does solve a lot of problems. And I don't know whether it's just
psychological, but it works.
It's like, I mean, Ed'll know exactly where. I mean, even you will, because you used to be a smoker. It's when you're stressed and when you're worked up and when you're pissed off, it's like, right, I'm going to take 5 minutes, I'll have a ciggy and I'll be all right. And you go 5 minutes, you have a ciggy and you're all right. It's just, I think it's just the mind, isn't it? It's how the mind works. And that's the same as, it sounds like we're going off subject, but that's the same as YouTube. You can put a video out. You know, I just think half the time you put videos out, and if you're not positive and you don't think they're going to do well, they don't do well.
No, sometimes the ones you think are total dog shit end up doing good. For instance, dog pee, because I did one where I was like, I had nothing to do, like I didn't know what to come up with, so I came up with this video I was like, how could I tie this into real estate? And I just threw this video up, and it's like at 93,000 views. It cracks me up.
How long? Be like me and don't care if a video is good or not.
What did you buy? Did you buy a camera?
I decided to come home before I purchased it because I saw that there was another camera that's a little bit cheaper. I'm like, I want to know that the video quality of the other camera is actually better before I purchase, because I don't want to buy the camera and then come back and watch the footage of the two and go, I really should have got that camera instead.
What are you buying it for? What are you doing with it?
Well, half of the reason is just to get another camera angle for my drawing. But I'm figuring, well, if I'm going to get a good one, then I might be able to do more things with it, like, you know, go out on trips and shit.
But you got a phone?
Surf.
Do you surf, Beanie? Can you surf?
Nah, well,
no.
I'm Australian, so I should, but you know.
Are you drinking a port?
No, I'm drinking some Coke.
Oh, it was just like you were having a port.
Maybe I am.
I'll be it all proper too. He had his pinky all.
Yeah, I do that. I do that all the time. Me daughter is terrible for it. She does it with a can of Coke. She just sit there with a can of Coke with a little pinky out. I mean, if
because I'm posh,
I would seriously, I would really seriously go for, if you want another cam on your webcam, I'd get the Brio. I really, really would.
Wait, the Brio? The Logitech Brio.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because on this screen right now, if I switch to the I've got two cameras connected. If I switch to the,
thought about the Brio.
I'm gonna switch to the Logitech now. Right. This is the Logitech. This is the cheapest Logitech they do. Right. And the actual video quality to me, it seems a little bit better. This is the Brio. But I think it's just the light. But the quality, I mean, I've noticed the quality on my videos now are just, I mean, even Hybrid Steel said the other day, he said you can tell the difference from when you got the Brio to when you had the, I think it was the 930E. But I'd look at the Brio. I really would. If it's for drawing and doing it, the quality on it is superb.
Too many things to think about now. I wasn't even thinking about the Brio until now.
Plus, you can get a Brio for like $90. You'll. I mean, I picked my Brio up for.
Well, that's British pounds.
$90.
I think I picked
it's like $20.
You should get it. I mean, with the sales that are going on now, I mean, my Brio only cost me $100. It was £100. It might have been £105 off Amazon, but you know, which is it's $120. Yeah, it's a webcam, but it's when you look at the quality of the actual video on my videos, it's like, wow, it's 4K.
Yeah,
you can tell it's noticeably different.
I wanted to ask something really quick. Did you hear that YouTube is removing annotations? So if you have older videos with annotations, those are going to appear as broken links.
What are annotations?
So there was a way that you could write on a video, like almost like an end card. So you'd write something on like a video or a website, or you could click on this little graphic that would take you to a website. Not like cards. It was just like something you could put in the video that looked like
you could have speech bubbles too.
You could have speech bubbles and all this stuff.
Yeah,
that
I've actually got. That's annoying because one of my actual best performing video has one of those at the start because I was like doing a little introduction and then I had a little speech bubble in case people didn't want to like watch that. I just said, if you want to watch the tutorial, skip to this part. So I won't be able to tell people to skip to that part.
Nope. Yeah,
couldn't you just go into it and take it out?
Probably could.
Yeah, you could edit that out now in the Creator's Studio, the new beta version, because you can edit your videos out. Just don't do what Neil did, which is remove 90% of it and
delete
only
the whole
part that.
Delete.
I have some really old videos with that stuff in it.
So you're gonna have to replace it with cards. There's no annotations anymore.
How long have you been on YouTube, Ed? That's something I've never asked.
Way too long to have as little subscribers as 08.
2008, is that when you started, is it?
10 years.
It was just a place to store videos, and then I started sharing them. I started it to promote my Action Sporting Goods store. After the crash, I was trying to save it, and then I didn't have the camera gear to do like snowboarding and stuff, so I went another direction with it. And then just a couple years ago, maybe shorter, I started getting really serious into it.
Well, I used YouTube that first year just to store videos because I was doing so good on Facebook. I was like, what the hell do I need YouTube for? I'm like, well, I guess if I'll just put it on YouTube you know, something happens to Facebook, but you know, I had all my eggs into Facebook, and not I was just putting them on YouTube. I didn't even care about any of the SEO or any of that garbage. I didn't care.
Right. I started my live streaming on Facebook, on my page for Facebook, because I use Facebook to try and drive traffic to YouTube.
Because you do quite a lot on because I've noticed all your content, it goes on Facebook and YouTube as well, doesn't it?
I try to. I'm pretty much a one-man show except for my two co-hosts, you know, when we're live. So the more I do, you know, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, whatever, my website, it's all added workload on me besides my my day job, which can be 8 hours at the minimum, 12 hours at the maximum. And then at night, I'm usually working till 11 or midnight. It's just a lot for an old guy like me.
What do you do over daytime? Because I know you work on you drive or you operate a machine, don't you, or something?
I do operate machinery sometimes. I'm in construction.
Right, because I do remember speaking to you a while ago, and it was like I think you were driving some sort of big, some kind of machine or something like that, and I was like, oh right, okay. It always surprises me when you talk to people from YouTube on what they actually do as a day job. It's like I always expect people who do YouTube or create YouTube stuff to just be YouTubers. When I first started, I thought that's all they do. They just create YouTube videos, and you forget that people have a day job.
Yeah, my career, it's been construction most of my life. For a while in my 20s, early 20s, I pretty much I've been self-employed a lot, you know, like Marvin Home Improvements back in Washington. Where I grew up in California, I did a little construction, but I made my good money, fiberglass and surfboards in my garage.
Really?
And that was all cash under the table. If the waves were up, I was at the beach. I'd go to Mexico like once a month.
You wouldn't think that there was that much money in doing surfboards, would you? In fiberglass and surfboards?
It was pretty lucrative. It's a multi-million-dollar industry.
So is that where you grew up in California? Is it?
Yeah, I was born in Anaheim, about a mile away from Disneyland. That was our nightclub before we turned 18. I used to have like 5 ways to sneak into Disneyland. It was great.
A friend of mine, she's in. Well, my daughter's just come back today. She flew back from Disney. She was in Florida for 3 weeks. She's just flown back today. And then another friend of mine, she's in Florida now, but she's visiting a friend of ours that he's had a motorbike accident over there, so she's only over there for a week. But it's I've never been to the States, but roll on 2019, because I literally can't wait to get over there.
You're coming to visit me. You're gonna do trivia night.
I'm gonna take you gold prospecting, buddy. Give you some gold to take back home.
Yeah, I've got a sort of the plan kind of changes weekly, to be honest. I mean, I know.
If you go all over the country like this, Neil.
I know we're obviously flying to Vegas because my son's he's getting married.
I just want to say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, Christine.
Good night.
Have fun with the new Mac.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to edit because I have to use this. Like, this is a new doohickey, so I have to use this doohickey to plug it in my computer.
What's in the end of it?
It's an SD card
Oh,
reader.
right, yeah.
So I've never used this, so I'm excited.
How much was that from Mac? In fact, hang on. Hasn't the... Oh no, the MacBook Pro hasn't got the reader, has it, on the side?
No, my other one did. My other one did have the little slot, but this one does not. So you have to use this thing. This thing costs $35.
The great auntie.
What the hell is the difference? Like, is it that they ran out of room and they couldn't put this into the thing? You know, like, is that why they couldn't? I don't know.
Meant to be.
So you have to buy that to do it. It's like with the iPhone, where you have to buy the adapter to use a regular headphone jack.
This is the best naming thing ever. Because
It's not. It's a pain in the ass because
every time somebody says dongle, I think they're saying a bad word. It makes me laugh.
It pissed me off so much when Apple done that because A, you can't charge your phone and listen to music unless you're using Bluetooth headsets.
Yep.
And B, you can't just go and buy... If you lose that dongle, you can't have screws, and I've had a few off eBay that have gone and bought off eBay, and you've plugged them in, you've put your headphones in, and it just comes up, device not recognised. This is unsupported device, and it's like, oh great, thanks. So then you got to go to Apple. I mean, I don't even know how much they are off Apple. Probably not much. Probably only about £10 or something like that, or
they're only like $15. Not even. I think they were $9.
Yeah, but you say only $15. Why couldn't you just put
$15 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not a lot
for a little bit of plastic.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money considering they could have just left the fucking 3mm jack plug in the phone. It's like, why?
What annoys me is one of my old friends is trying to defend it, going, "Oh, everyone needs to be going into Bluetooth headphones anyway. I don't see why people should be having like cabled headphones." I'm like, bugger off.
Yeah, I love cabled headphones. I mean, these.
I think they sound better, honestly, because these are Bluetooth. I've charged them once, and I'm like, I just don't think they sound as good as when they're plugged in. Maybe it's me in my head, but anyway, I do have to go to bed, y'all. Good night.
Go on, speak to you later. I've got we've got Tesco's in the UK, which is like a 24-hour shop, and they were selling some cheap, just like wrap around the ear Bluetooth headphones. It was a while ago. I think they were about £10. And seriously, one of the best. They're as good as my Beats, my Dre Beats. You know, the earbuds. The sound quality is as good as them, and the battery on them just seems to last forever. I don't know why. They're just really good headphones for what they were and the price. But it's yeah.
Well, these headphones only cost me like $15, and they have the headphone jack, and I can put them in anything except for an iPhone.
It's just it just makes no sense to have changed from. I don't know why they changed it, because it's just caused more issues and more problems. Because the thing that pisses me off is that you can't. I used to love lying in bed, put my phone on charge, plugging my Apple headphones in, just putting one in and listening to a podcast or something like that. But now you can't do that. You've got to put your Bluetooth headset in, and it's just you wake up in the middle of the night and you're getting strangled by a Bluetooth headset, and then your phone's not charged. It's an absolute nightmare. It just annoys me that they go and change things like this, because Android haven't done it. Android have just left a 3.5mm jack.
Yeah, but they're behind the time. That's the thing that like everyone like. Trying to force us all to go into everything wireless is really irritating, even though I've got like a wireless mouse, but you know.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like wireless mice. I have the I have the good old. I don't even think I can get it on camera. Me good old spaceship. Oh no, it won't reach that far. But it's just I don't know why they didn't make this
kind with the ball on it.
What, the rollerball? I cannot use them things. Do you use the rollerball?
No, I got a cheap little wireless mouse.
Yeah,
I used to have. It was big, bulky with a ball on it.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he used to have the. Do you remember the trackball when it was like a big orange ball on the mouse pad, and it was just horrendous.
A lot of people use those for editing.
Yeah, they do. But see, my mouse is the mouse I've got is like a spaceship.
The thing that really annoyed me is those mice, and then you'd have the editors that would be like, "Oh, you're not a real editor unless you use one of these things." I'm like, fuck off.
I have a question, Beanie. How the you have your green screen working through Zoom?
I've got OBS going.
So you have to put in a key code in your OBS for Zoom then?
Yeah. Oh, that's a fancy.
There you go, Beanie.
That's signed up to do it.
There's like some sort of adapter or something so that OBS could like talk to Zoom or anything else.
Yeah, you need
Galaxy Studios was
filter or something you use.
That what's that?
That thing you just.
Oh yeah, that's my mouse. That's the It does look like the Batmobile. Yeah, it does.
That's a pretty cool looking mouse.
It does. I like it because you can adjust the height. You can adjust the height of this. So when you're holding it, you can adjust the height, and then you can also make it. You can actually make the thing wider. So this side here is made wider. So it's not a tiny little mouse. So it just kind of fits. It does fit perfect in your hand, and all the buttons on the sides, they all seem to fit in the right place. But it's
I like tiny mice. This thing's like, I've got a big hand. This is just a little tiny thing in my hand. I don't know. I just seem to prefer smaller mice than big mice.
That is literally the best thing I've ever bought, though. That
the Elgato.
Honest to God, it's brilliant. It's that good that I actually sussed it out the other day. You can go into it. I probably won't even show it now. So I've made comments. It's not it's a bit too bright at the minute, but I've actually made comments. So if I go in the chat, I've got like 6 different sets of comments that will so as soon as I press in the chat, it automatically puts comments in the chat. So I've just made 2 comments there.
Right.
It's really it is really clever.
And that's your volume dial, isn't it?
This thing is playing up at the minute. Yeah, it seems to be. I don't know whether the actual track inside is messed up or I need to spray some cleaner inside it, but it's doing this thing where it's only balancing. It's more over to the right hand side than it is the left hand side. And you can't even see the. In fact, no, can you? No, the screen. The screen is too bright on it, but yeah, I wish I'd have got one sooner. Need to switch over to the other camera. For the plugin that Ed was asking about, it's the you've got to get the virtual camera for OBS.
That's the plugin virtual camera.
Yes. So if you download the virtual camera for OBS, and then where does it be on the actual camera?
What?
On OBS, where is the what you do when you go into OBS?
To get the hang on, let me see. On my video capture device, I right click on the properties. I think. Oh, hang on, I'm messing around with it now. Oh, I've lagged myself out. What am I doing? I've lagged up.
You still? It's probably because you're just kicking in.
No, it's because I changed the resolution. I'm in the wrong thing. All right, so it's not in that. There's something about Bigger video. I think it's that. I can't fully remember how, unless and green screen.
Would it be like filters?
Ah, right.
Then,
Yeah, it's filters.
Then plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you just activated it in the top of OBS. I thought you downloaded the cam, and then you activated the virtual camera.
Yeah, yeah. You have to go into filters, and then in the effect filters you put in chroma key, and then yeah. So on your OBS you can probably see your background's working fine, but with there's like some sort of what's it called? There's like tools. There's a thing called Virtual Cam on PC that you have to install. And then it'll come up as a virtual camera, and then Zoom can recognize the virtual camera.
But it doesn't do it on slobs, because I tried to.
It does.
You sure? Because
yeah,
there's a different.
It's just not as good. Hang on, let me just test that theory out. All right, and close out OBS.
Image mask.
You should still be able to hear me at least.
Yeah, because I thought there was a because when I looked into doing it for slobs, there was a different way around doing it. You had to download some sort of codec. It was a video codec that you needed to download for slobs, install it into slobs. Yeah, it was just, to be honest with you, I'd done it with OBS and it worked perfect. But because I don't use OBS anymore, and I have all the scenes created for slobs, I kind of like the way slobs works. Slobs just for me, it just works a lot easier. It just works. It kind of works perfect for me, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't kind of. It didn't work well with slobs.
Yeah. Where's my?
Because you use a lot of green screen on your Tuesday show. You use the green screen all the time, don't you, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it quite a bit.
They are good. I mean, they are clever when they
and
work.
That's how I found Nick Nimmin, was because I wanted to learn more about green screen and that Aussie guy. What's his name? Justin Brown.
Yeah.
I really like the community at Nick's, and kind of stuck around there for a while.
The green screen, it's good. I love the green screen, but for some reason, it just, I don't know whether it's just the UK or whatever it is, but you need to be. It works great in the summer because I've got a big window to me right. I have the blinds open, and because the sun comes in the summer, the green screen works perfectly. Like, it really does. But even with the lights that I've got rigged up in the room where I am now, it just doesn't seem to work as well when it's dark. It's natural sunlight.
So with Zoom, have you got Zoom connected up with your slobs at the moment?
No, I'm basically just sharing the screen in slobs.
Ah, right. Well, you can do green screen in slobs. It's just not as good as OBS. So
Right.
hang on.
Should
Let
I
us.
bring up my OBS again?
So in Streamlabs OBS, how do you actually get like it to see it on the Zoom?
I just share my middle screen on basically on slobs. I pull my middle screen in as a
Okay.
as a window. It's a share window, but
Right.
I have two scenes, set up for the hang, because I have the Hangout window where we're all in the middle of the screen, and then I have another window which I can pull people's websites in. So we'll
like the one you're showing. Now
the one I'm on now, which has got us in the bottom left hand corner, and then it's got obviously the person who's on, because
channel up now.
Yeah, because your channel will come on next, Ed, because I've just changed it on the third screen over. It's it's good. It's I just prefer to use slobs. Slobs for me, I don't know whether it's probably, and this will sound like really anally stupid, but it's probably the color scheme and the way it's laid out. It just looks more professional than OBS.
Well, I have both. I have slobs and OBS. I use OBS because I know it better. I like on OBS how you could adjust everything in the studio, where on slobs, you know where your volume and all your controls for your audio and stuff is, and your scenes and all that. You can adjust the size of your playback windows in your setup window in studio. You could adjust the sizes of all that, and you can't in slobs.
What you mean adjust the sizes of which? Christine has just called me a slob snob. I think it's just. I think she's doing some editing before she goes to bed. She's trying to get a video out tomorrow because her brain won't allow. Brain won't allow her not to have a video. It's I don't know. It's just the slobs thing is it. It seems, how do I put it? It seems more. I don't even know how to describe it. It just seems more user friendly than OBS. Everything is tiny in OBS, even like your scenes and everything. You've got it. It's just bigger, and it's like a child's version of OBS for me. Slobs. It's self-explanatory. Whereas OBS, you kind of have to hunt for things. Plus, as well, I like the fact that they do the Slobs merch store, and there's so many. You know, there's loads of other things that you can do with it as well. It's just, I think you just settle on one, and then
you can do with slobs compared to OBS. But I hear you can use the slob stuff on regular OBS too.
Yeah, I mean the thing that I did like about it. Beanie's just flashing now. Christine.
I just noticed that. Oh, there it goes.
There you go.
Oh,
that's what you get for messing around with stuff. It's. I think it's just one of them. It's each to their own. I mean, if there was a.
Oh yeah.
If there was it was a kind of paid version with, you know, I'd like to. There's a few things on slobs that I would like to alter. You know, I'd like to alter a few things, but I suppose it's free. I mean, for considering it's free software, it's pretty powerful for what it does.
Well, you could technically make your own because it's based off OBS, so OBS is open source, so you can do whatever you want with it.
If you are clever enough to actually be able to program OBS and go into the, you know, it's it is. I love it. It's considering, you know, I'm not long started YouTube and things like that. It was one of the things that, to me, the main reason for going over to slobs was to have the control pad, you know, on your phone or a tablet for doing different things, like basically the Stream Deck that I've just bought, the Elgato Stream Deck. Slobs have their own version, don't they? Which is just you can use it on your phone. That was one of the things that made me go over to slobs, but then it just became a pain. It became a bit of a pain in the ass because you were constantly looking at your phone while you were doing things, and it was a nightmare. But whereas the the Stream Deck, it's there. You can feel the buttons, so you kind of know where you are with the buttons. If you get me, I like it. It's I say it's each to their own, I suppose. There's how many broadcast software stuff is there? Is there is there loads of them? Because I only know of OBS and Slobs. Is there more?
Well, they're split, in which there's the paid version and the free version, and the free version is very limited. You can only have one camera and stuff, and I thought they were expensive, so I didn't keep it.
Yeah, Justin Brown did a video on the different kinds of streaming software.
So the only two I know are Slobs and OBS. But
there's like Ecamm as well.
What's the one Doug uses? Because does he use Ecamm? Because he's on Mac, isn't he? So he can can you get Slobs on Mac?
I don't think you can get it on Mac.
No,
I think you can get OBS on Mac, but not Slobs.
Yeah, Beauty Bullets just said Stream Elements Ecamm. I think that's what Doug uses. I think Doug uses Ecamm.
Yeah.
It's again just for the fact that it's free. It's so powerful. It is so powerful. It's how do you find it, Ed? Because you use OBS, don't you? Not do you use OBS or Slobs?
Who, Beanie or me?
You do what do you use?
I mainly use OBS, but I do have Streamlabs OBS also, and I'm trying to transition.
Right.
But when I first came up, how you're supposed to be able to transfer your scenes from one to the other, it won't let me for some reason.
What do you
So now I'm rebuilding all my scenes on Slobs that I have on OBS.
Oh, right, because when I downloaded OBS, when I installed it, it asked me, did I want to transfer scenes from OBS to Slobs, and it automatically done it for me. Because when I first opened Slobs, I was like, wow, all the stuff that I've got on OBS is now in Slobs.
Well, I had that option, but when there was nothing to pick. It said pick what scene, and I had nothing there.
Do you know what it might be? And this, I don't know whether you've checked it or not. When you open Slobs, in your left hand side, I don't know whether I can. Let me see if I can do this. Right. So you guys can see the screen. I don't know whether everybody else can see that screen. I don't know what's going on here today.
Could.
Yeah, so this place over here, Ed, where it's got Creator Chaos. So there's my streams there. When I first opened it, they weren't there. It was just, I think it was set to default, and then I basically had to click that menu there, and then it dropped down, and it had the Crypto Cruising stuff in there. So it might be a case of open up your Slobs and then clicking that menu and seeing if all your stuff. You might click on the